And hey, Marvel Guy's the first one here. Hello, Marvel Guy.
Are we live?
We are live for audio.
They can hear us?
Ah,
All right,
Marvel
no more
Guy
gossiping.
can hear us, yes. Started a couple minutes late. Ad Vixen's here, also first. And Ad Vixen's now first to say, damn it. All right. Hello, good morning, everyone. Hi, welcome to the Sunday Odin Makes live stream. My name is Odin.
Hi, I'm Felicia.
And today we're going to be doing more of the Proton Packs and working on one heck of a little side quest. Right? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things are looking really good. They have tubes and bits and bobs and are rainbow colored.
Rainbow colored and parts that fall off the bottom. And
Yeah, and I see you made these little puzzles while I call them puzzles because these things fit in perfectly.
I got parts over here. Well, basically, what I was doing was looking at getting the tubes cut in order to be the tube collectors that go here, right?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
They can't see it.
No, they can't see it because I just ran away from it. I got pictures, but we had made some...
Where these things go.
Right. We had made some specialty ones for Lost Wax Oz Chris's instructions a while ago. And they had the holes drilled in them, and they're schedule 40. So last night, I was at Home Depot, and they had schedule 200 tubes, which are, half as...
The narrower...
Yeah, the narrower.
They are the same outside circumference?
Correct.
But not the same interior circumference, which makes a difference when you're mathing things.
It does. Or diameter, or whichever way you want to look at it, but circumference is accurate as well.
You do it by the diameter.
I go by diameter, yeah. But, it's the same thing. It's not the same thing, but
no.
Saying that they're the same circumference is correct.
I have had to call him because I needed to make something, and I'm like, what is the circumference of the 1 inch, or what was it?
Right.
PVC pipe, something like that, because I know that my math is going to be a little funky, and it was, and
it's all good.
But it worked out perfectly, and they're like, wow, these fit perfectly. How'd you know?
Well, I called the son of an engineer.
Math.
So, the old ones that had anyway, I figured we'll just go ahead and
let it go,
and started with something new.
So what's this glue?
Blue. So this blue glue is Christie's Red Hot Blue Glue, which is literally what it's called. It's PVC cement.
Hey, this stuff is solid. I'm really poking at it.
Yeah.
How'd you get blue? I always get purple.
It's the brand. It's made to be blue.
Is it Home Depot?
It's Home Depot. It's literally called Christie's Red Hot Blue Glue.
Okay. And it's for PVC? And
it's
in
for
the PVC pipe?
Yep, it is. It's in the PVC pipe aisle. And what's nice about this particular glue, at least, and probably a lot of the PVC glues, it'll actually glue the PTEG 3D printing filaments, which is what a lot of the local droid guys are using to glue their droids together with.
Yeah, because it's not actual glue. What it is like a solvent
Correct.
that dissolves the PVC itself. So then you are making a weld, a chemical weld
Correct.
in the plastic, as opposed to
a bonding agent that's just dry between the two of them, like super glue. Yeah.
I just had to plumb a pool, so.
Oh, there you go.
I learned all of these things.
Yep.
Yeah.
You are right.
Put a whole new motor in. I felt very proud.
You have a motorized swimming pool? You just drive it around the street?
No, I had to put a motor into the pump.
Yeah, into the pump.
Yeah.
Circulate the water.
We had a full horsepower one, but then when we got it fixed, the person who fixed it put a 3/4 horsepower one in, and we were like, why is the pool never ever okay? Why is
because it's not pumping enough. So you put in you got the Binford 10 horsepower pump?
3 horsepower.
3. Oh, okay.
3
so you went from 3/4 to 3. So it's 4 times as
we
strong.
got the Black & Decker has circulate. It's the.
All right.
Good deal. Good. Anyways, you have to figure these things out because sometimes life is like, hey.
Right.
You hired a professional and they screwed you over, so now you have to actually brain it.
Yeah. Now you have to unscrew yourself. Yeah.
But yeah. So PVC pipe. It's a welding agent.
Yeah.
I learned that. Well, I knew that, but.
So is it true that it's better to know somebody who owns a swimming pool than it is to own a swimming pool?
100%. Since I've owned one, I've gone swimming so much less than I've ever gone since. But I do like to float.
Right. No, it's all good. And then I'm just thinking of the cost. You've just talked about repairing motors or replacing pieces and...
The filter cartridges and the chemicals.
Chemical treatments.
The thing is, there's a learning curve.
Okay.
There's definitely a learning curve.
Yeah, I believe that.
And I think we're figuring it out finally.
Okay, good.
So.
Well, congratulations. With the heat that we're already having here in the California Valley, I'm very glad you have a swimming pool.
Right? We are like in the hundreds. Oh, sorry.
Uh-huh. It's not 100 today, is it?
I don't know what today's weather is. I can look on my phone. It tells me.
It says it's only 66 right now by my phone.
77 on my phone.
Okay, your phone's probably more accurate, and it's warmer than that in here. I actually bought a thermometer for out
we
here.
went up a degree.
Oh, okay.
While we were talking. The high's supposed to go up to 88.
Hot air. I bought a thermometer to bring out here because I was curious about how much I'm baking Puppy. And yeah, it's not out here. I took it to work because everybody was complaining at work. Work in the building that I'm working in, we're filling in all the nooks and crannies because there just isn't enough room for all the people who have to return to office. And so I'm
you
working.
are a state worker, aren't you?
And I are a state worker, yeah. And so I'm working in what was one of the additional break rooms. And to be honest, I've always been in that room. It's not like suddenly I'm in that new room, but now there's like 4 of us in there.
Suddenly there's 4.
Yeah, so there's 4 of us in there instead of 2 or 3. Actually, it may be as many as 5. So the facilities people put in better air conditioning into the room. It really didn't have any at all before. And everyone says, "Oh my God, it's cold." And I'm like, "No, it's great being cold because when summer hits, it'll still be cool. If it's cold now, it'll be good then."
Right.
And so I took my thermometer, or thermometer, right?
Yeah.
A digital one to work, and it ranged all day between 71 or 70 and 68. That's kind of where it was at. It's like, all right, yeah, I can see this as being cold. Am I cold? Yeah, because I'm inactive, so it's a little cold.
I definitely go to work with sweaters on.
Yeah.
Like I have layers because it'll be cold in the morning.
Right.
It'll be cold all day in my closet. I call it my closet, but it's my little office. Yeah. And then when I get out at the end of the day, it's been 100 degrees baking in my car, so I throw off my sweater. I'm like, okay, now I can drive home. And
Yep. Layers. Dress in layers, even in the summer. Yeah. A lot of the manager's office have southern-facing, floor-to-ceiling windows.
Which is gorgeous. Except
baking.
Solar ovens.
Yes, solar ovens. It's like, oh, the window's so hot. You want blackout curtains. Oh, the window's still so hot. You want blackout curtains. And, yes, it'll cut out light. You know what else it's going to cut out? Radiant heat. But anyway, what do I know?
Right, but sunlight. It's so gorgeous.
Sure. I work with video. Get it off my screen.
Right. I get secondhand light because I have a window, but it's not to the outside of the building. Right. It's into it's called the POPs department, prosthetics, orthotics, and something. Anyways.
Okay, so you work at the POPs.
And so their space looks like your space.
All right.
And then there's a window.
Oh, and then there's a window to your space.
Yeah, so there's a window from my closet, which has all the sewing stuff in it. There's the props room, and then so all of their stuff with boards up on the walls and things, but then behind those are the windows. Oh,
so the light comes through the pegboard?
Yeah, the pegboards block it. There's windows behind it. So because it's like the little stations up against the walls.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
And so I get the second-hand light.
All right. Maybe you get some, though.
Right? I have a window.
Yes.
And I don't have to feel like I'm alone in a closet all day with no windows, because the other part, I have 2 office areas.
Okay.
The other one's in the tub room, which used to be the
I enjoy the tub room has quotes.
Hydrotherapy for the kids, because I'm in there, but they don't do hydrotherapy because there's an issue. There's an issue. Okay. Old building, not going to happen anymore.
Gotcha.
And so the room had been converted into like the cutting room for the sewing and stuff like that, but then they made it into office space that I share with people, so that's where I do my patterning.
Okay.
That's my patterning space. So I have 2 spaces, one that I'm like around people, and then my closet where I'm just all by myself, but I can look at people through my window.
Okay.
And the people I get to like hang out with over there, they're all the people building the prosthetics, they're like, they have all the fun equipment that I'm just like, look at those machines. I'm just like, they have the air compressors that come from the ceilings. I love those. My dad has one of those, and I'm like, that is just jealous. And then they have like the the drill
we
press.
We could set one of those up shop for a month.
Right?
Right.
It's very much the maker space, but they're
Yeah.
making very practical things for people who very much need it.
Okay, very cool.
And because it's a children's hospital, they have all the fun stuff, like all the fun prints and patterns. And
Oh,
you can
right.
turn any fabric into like the different.
Okay. Different characters, different non characters, I guess.
Well, you know, like those scoliosis braces and stuff like that, they can use like any fabric they want to.
Oh, okay.
Make it so if you find the fabric, you can have like a 49ers brace.
Oh, okay.
You know, like.
Right. Okay, cool.
Yeah, right. Anyways.
No,
it gets cold, but I don't mind.
okay. Good. And then also having secondhand light, as I know from experience of being in now more than one office with 0 windows, it's nice to know what time of day it is outside. It's nice to have access to where the sun is.
I definitely need sunshine to grow. I will wither without sunshine.
Yes.
Sunshine.
There was being at when I was at the Sacramento Media Center, my office upstairs had 0 windows, so I'd often on my computer screen bring up the security cameras just so I could see if the sun was still up. It was like my window to the outside. All I could look at was the parking lot, but at least it was outside.
Okay.
Right?
Right. I know there's like I've had the jobs where I'd go in.
Mm-hmm.
Before the sun comes up, and I'd leave, and the sun would be going down, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I did not witness daylight today.
Yes,
And-
especially in the winter.
Right?
It's got to be worse than further north you go.
Right?
Yeah, because we're not that far north.
Sunshine, I need it, but honestly, I'm pretty happy. Been
That's
learning a lot. I'm on my own finally. Like,
Oh, right.
not finally, but you know, like
You had a period of
2 months intense training.
intense training, right?
And now the person who trained me is gone, and I'm on my own.
Okay, as far as potential probation or whatever else, but no, okay,
I'm
awesome.
on my own.
On your
doing
own.
this. It's happening, and it's been fun.
That's good.
And
And
it's-
you've mastered that whatever serger machine you talked about?
Oh yes.
Okay,
Because,
maybe not mastered.
Well, the thing is there's knowing how to do what you want to do, and then there's actually physically doing it. Kind of got to smoosh it, and you got to smoosh it.
Yes, book knowledge versus practical knowledge?
Exactly.
Okay.
Like, how hard do you pull versus feed it through? It has to just barely touch the guide. If you push
Okay.
it and it touches it too hard, then you're going to have too thick of seams. If you don't touch it hard enough and you just barely bump it, you're not going to have seams that are going to hold. So you have to, like, it's all the fine tuning.
Okay, interesting.
And yeah, like the tensions on the machines need to be right. The way you feed it through needs to be right. The threads you use change it, which I got
Yeah?
permission not to have to use the threads that I don't like. I'm like,
You got permission to only use threads that you're comfortable with?
exactly.
Oh, nice.
He's like,
as long as they're within spec, I would imagine.
well, so they have some older threads that they got inherited from another hospital, but with elastic threads they can expire, believe it or not, because the elastic's been stretched around the spool for so long, it is now that shape, and it's not going to recover and bounce anymore because of the sunshine, and then it also makes it silky and blah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know, if the texture is just
Yeah, right. Elastic is typically rubber, especially older materials. Rubber's an organic compound, and rubber rots.
yeah, but this is nylon thread, woolly nylon.
Yeah, but if it's elastic, then it has rubber in it.
I don't know if it has rubber.
Okay.
It's woolly nylon, so it's more the shape of the fibers that have the elastic properties.
Gotcha.
Versus the...
Yeah, I grabbed a hold of the noun.
No, because that makes a difference. Because Lycra and elastic and other spandexes have recovery is in their chemical makeup. You know, in the...
Yeah. It's part
versus the shape of the fibers, where the woolly nylon is like really fuzzy, so it can stretch really skinny, but then it also recovers back to the fuzzy.
Okay.
So...
Interesting. I'm going to reach, sorry.
Right? I hear beeps.
Yeah, I think it was your phone. I think.
No, that wasn't my phone.
Okay. Well, it could have been.
But.
Could have been the computer.
Yeah, no, it wasn't me. I checked.
Okay. All good.
But anyways,
squinting
the expired
hard.
stuff like goes. It's not fun to sew with, and it's too slippery and ugh. And so I don't have to use, just because we're using these up on the prefab so that we can use them up. I don't even have to use them up. I'm like, just get the stuff that works.
Yeah.
Which makes my life so much easier, and it's still way cheaper than ordering them, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Because my job, because they don't necessarily need me.
Rough.
Because they can order from a very specific company that makes these garments.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
But they have very long turnaround times. and honestly, I've seen their quality, and instantly I felt much better about me just walking in and straight
Oh,
first
nice,
project.
good.
I was like, oh yeah, I'm fine.
Okay,
based off
good.
their quality. You know what I mean? When
Yes.
you see the competition, you're like, phew, oh, I'm fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can do this.
So
I can do this drunk and sick.
And I'm not being full of myself, but you know
I
what
understand.
I mean? You see
I
it and you go,
understand.
oh, I could.
Yeah. It's like, so the previous person, were they like working at their max capacity, or were they just completely phoning it in?
Well, it's the company they order from, and
Yeah.
it's long, and they're very, very, very expensive.
Yeah.
So that my time, even if I just diddle-daddled, wasting a day, is still saving them a lot
Okay.
of money.
Yeah.
Because paying salary versus for those individual garments that have been priced with all of the
Yes, that makes sense.
expenses into it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
oh, yeah.
I do not feel guilty
Good.
about learning in my time and experience. Like, I'm fine. They're very lucky to have me.
Good.
Strange things that I'm just able to jump into, but always have. So how are the conversations going? Because we've been ignoring them.
Yeah, right. Well, I need to, I guess, put the chat back, and then I can duplicate the windows, and we can both have one, just what I
Oh,
wanted.
we can see. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, I just close it, right, and it goes back. Yeah, okay. And then I want to... I put new... Oh, wow. I put new batteries in the mouse thinking it was a battery issue. Just the antenna's on the backside of the computer,
Antenna's
so it has
over
to go
here,
all
so
the way
you can't
through
get
it.
closer
Yeah.
to there, even though your brain
Duplicate.
wants to.
Oh, gosh, does it?
Right?
So one thing I didn't get set up, of course, I can't really until we're going. I can't get this part set up.
And we got off on
beforehand.
tangents right away.
Oh, right away. And we were on a tangent before we even started.
Right? We were on tangents before we started tangenting.
Right. It was almost time to go, and it's like, oh, hey, let's see if the printer's going to work. And so I start hyper focusing on the printer, and all of a sudden it's 11:20. We haven't started. It's like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're on side quest mode 2 on top of all of this.
Right. So I'm going to work on the Proton Packs today, and Felicia's going to side quest.
Yeah. What's really nice about my new job is that I can still pick up on the side gig work, so I have a fun side gig coming up. I don't really want to talk about it yet because I don't know how much I can say in this phase of projects, because
That's very realistic.
so many things change by the time we get to shoot day that it's like, I saw you guys do this, or, you know, you ruins the surprise, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So
Spoilers. Yeah.
So, like, I will tell you once
So now we
it's
both
come
have a copy.
out what I'm working on, and you can check it out. But for now, I'm just going to be very vague.
That's
Not
all good.
because it's super important or anything. It's just because projects in this phase, it's
Yeah.
just polite not to talk about all the
Right.
details yet.
Additionally, once you have these particular costumes created and they see them on set, it may be, oh no, we need to change them.
Well, we're doing the prototypes today.
Right,
I'm not
okay.
making. I have
You're
to
not-
make
oh,
10
okay.
total.
But you're only going to make one each?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
We're going to do the prototypes so that they can have something that they can see before it gets on the shoot day, and they're like, wait, what is that?
Right, good.
So,
Good. We got Tebow ads for Jerry. I'm sorry, Jerry, but thank you for watching ads. You're a rock star. Stupid Monkey is the first monkey. Stupid Monkey is the best monkey. Our guy talks about having YouTube Premium. Yep, Shock Gremlin does too.
is it worth it? That's my question. I've never had it.
Oh, what are we paying? $10 or $13 a month, whatever. It's ad free.
And do you get, like, movies ad-free on YouTube?
We haven't tried watching movies yet. We've been
Because I
watching
know you can watch
channels,
movies on
yeah.
YouTube, but you have to watch the... But I
Yeah.
feel like you pay for prescription.
Yes, well, it's prescription.
services.
I have a prescription for subscription. And it isn't totally
and they
fiction.
still make you watch commercials.
Only the ones that are baked into the videos is all I've seen so far.
Okay.
Because generally, we're just, Shopro and I will watch different videos that we're both subscribed to. And I'm only seeing the videos that are baked into the actual program.
Okay.
I'm not seeing the, next ad in 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm not
lucky.
seeing those craps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That was my question.
Yep. And so live stream shouldn't be seeing ads either. Lots of stuff going on.
Don't panic. Steve D is here.
Oh, thank God. Oh, Schultz Division is still working on the fully animated music video, which is now about 350 hours, I assume, of work. Hopefully the music video isn't 350 hours long.
Well.
Yeah. Super Monkey says that if you like music, then YouTube Premium is totally worth it. And yes, I can see that. Because I was listening to Spotify, and then whatever, I got angry with it, so I started listening to YouTube Music. Pros and cons for YouTube Music. With the premium subscription, yeah, it's ad-free, which is great. Now I'm not having ads for muffins and cookie crumble in the middle of my Tron soundtrack. But a con that I'm not exactly excited about, even though I have selected what claims to be the official extended Tron soundtrack on YouTube Premium, YouTube Music Premium, it still plays the music video version of some of the songs, which has additional sound effects, intro, outro things. It's like, this doesn't belong in the album. I'm not watching this. I'm listening to it while I'm trying to work on something else.
But you could be watching it if you want.
But I don't want to. I just want an option where it's like, don't play the damn music video. Just play the album version.
Isn't that Spotify? No, teasing. I'm just giving you shit. I'm sorry.
You're not wrong. That's right. The thing is, I don't have a Spotify subscription, and uBlock Origin stopped blocking all the ads for Spotify, so I was suddenly getting
funny about that?
Cookies.
I was giving
At least it wasn't yogurt commercials.
for not having Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
I was driving one of the singers to a music video, like it was out in Preston Castle.
Oh, okay.
And they plugged their phone into an amp and just burnt out their phone, like killed their phone.
Oh.
Because they were trying to play something off their phone into an amp, and it fried it.
It fried it. Too much voltage going in.
So they had no phone, and I was the person who had the phone in the car.
Okay.
And she was so frustrated that I did not have, like, who doesn't have Spotify Premium? Like, she was just like, who doesn't? And I'm like, lady, I'm not a musician that's cool like you.
Yeah. Right. Lady, I don't have the disposable income.
Right? Especially
that's
with
another
what you guys
$10
a
month. Yeah. Or whatever it is.
But I always think of that. I'm like, to her, it was just so like,
who
doesn't have Spotify Premium?
It's like working at Smosh, or the director's like, well, just get a new phone.
Right?
It's like, dude, you don't pay me enough. No, I will not let go of that. The pictures you sent me are all purple. Yeah, my phone's broken. Well, get a new phone. No! My phone works for everything but the pictures, so I don't care.
Mm-hmm. I had phone issues when I was working there, too, and I was like, dude, it's just being poor.
Yeah, it's being poor. Sorry. We wouldn't be poor if you paid us more, but you're not going to do that because then you'd be poor.
Right, but hey, we survived.
Yeah, we survived. Great experience. What else was I thinking? There was Spotify or something else. Interesting. YouTube videos, yeah.
Listening to music. I don't know. I like having background noise.
Yeah.
I don't like commercial background noise. I get really irritated of that, though. And I vow not to buy those things that I'm advertised. But it's like, it's easy when you have no money.
Yeah, that is very easy. It's not so much that. Most of the music and things that I listen to don't have words, don't have lyrics, because then I'm able to focus on what I'm doing, and I've got music to accompany it. As soon as I've got lyrics, either they're stuck in my head, or it's competing for my attention, because apparently I can't focus on the two things at the same time, and I don't get what I'm doing, or it takes longer, or whatever else, or it just straight up annoys me because I've got a really good level going, and then the ad starts, and then I go back to my really good level again, and so I don't, little things like that. Sorry, hey.
No worries.
Oi, hello, Odin, Felicia, and chat. Hello, Ralph. Yeah, no, Spotify Premium would totally work, Schultz. I was trying to use an ad blocker with it, and that's what failed, was the ad blocker. All right.
Okay. Marvel guy's asking about Defy Media, but they were just the persons who signed our checks. I never dealt with them.
Yeah, I probably dealt with Defy Media a tiny bit more directly than Felicia did, because I actually talked to some of the producers for DIY Prop Shop. But even then, those were the producers for DIY Prop Shop. They were representing Defy Media.
Yeah, it was Defy Media was literally only the person I saw on the paycheck.
Right, it was just the company.
They were nothing to us.
Right.
They had no effect on me.
Well,
directly.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Like, they were not picking out the colors or the things or the scripts or any of the stuff that I was interacting with.
No, they were just the ones that would lose your paycheck.
That's okay. I used to frustrate them and not turn in my paperwork, so.
Well, there you go, fair.
Right.
All right.
So what are you working on today?
So I'm gonna, well, I'll give you some table space. I am going to work on the tubes that go on the side of the pack. So I got 2 sets, and some of the things I did, I actually started working on this morning. Let's see. Hopefully I can get. I'm fighting the mouse. You know, and if you just had a wired mouse for this side of the table, it wouldn't be an issue. Yeah, but that wouldn't be as much fun, would it?
Oh, that's awesome. These pants are reversible. Look at that.
Oh. So one pair of pants will do both teams?
Yeah.
I mean.
Well, they're black and white and black teams.
Yeah.
The bones are white with black, and the ghosts are black with white.
Okay.
So there's 2, and that gives us 4 test sites.
Yeah, 4 test sites. Nice.
Yeah. And we cannot screen print these. It just
Nope.
would not work.
Right, because this is mostly synthetic.
Yeah, it is like 100% polyester.
Okay.
Yeah, 100% polyester.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, this is not going to shrink.
No.
It's not going to breathe, but because of the dots,
Well, it does
will
breathe.
wick away moisture and it will breathe, so you'll be fine because
Yes,
of
it's
the
a mesh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the fiber construction versus the actual fibers.
Right.
And it's a knit versus a woven. But anyways, that's not going
Okay.
to affect the we can't screen print it. When I called a screen printer to ask them how much it would cost and what's the details, they're like, yeah, we don't want a screen print jersey. Can we do vinyl or a heat transfer? I'm like, well, those were the 2 options I was thinking of.
Okay.
So we're going to try a heat transfer vinyl printout.
Cool.
Black, and I have white. Try it on. Because it's one size going to fit everybody on the team, and it's both boys and girls on the team.
Okay.
The basketball team, so probably have them. The girls bring sports bras.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is? Ah, there is MP1. That's what I want. Okay. Yeah, I don't have a.
No, I know.
Obviously, we need to print that bigger.
Right. I also need the ghost. You know what I mean? Like, where does it go? You
Yeah,
know?
where does it go?
Doesn't
Exactly.
go here. Doesn't go too high up.
Well, it could go up there if you just cut the head off, and then you have this little skeleton body dangling off the neckline.
Yeah, you could.
But that wouldn't work for the ghosts. They would just look like they had a bib on.
Right. Ugh, it's already worn with this polyester.
Yeah, well, I can plug the fan in. I don't necessarily want to freeze you, but I can,
We may end up having to. It's
All right.
getting warmer and warmer.
I will probably go plug the fan. I call it dead air. There's no air circulation in here. So, so what I'm, oh, I wasn't quite there yet. Yeah, okay.
It's okay. I'm distracting you on
That's
side
fine.
quests.
Did you just hit cut?
Cut.
So I'm working on putting the tubes in, which we're now looking at a picture of the side of
Nice
the
tube holes.
Tube holes. This is the picture of the side of the Proton Pack where the tubes need to go. And we got this lovely piece of plywood that it plugs it up, and right behind that is the electronic motherboard for controlling the lights and controlling the sound and everything else for the pack. So I can't put anything past that plywood. So I ended up doing earlier today, and I realized that this. Oh, come on. There we are. I went ahead and cut the tubes. So these are the tubes individually cut. You've already seen them a little bit. But they end up being, remembering what was suggested last year. So I cut them down to that. And then figured out and laser cut all the individual little pieces. This is all stuff I did starting 7 o'clock this morning.
And you documented it. I'm impressed.
Thank you. Well, I had to share a little bit. And so I've got all the pieces that I need to do 2 sets of this, which is pretty much this twice. I've got 2 panels with a little 8 cutout. It's offset on one of them because the weight has to fit to the pack. That's the panel that fits against the pack. And then the little figure 8 panel down on the bottom, if you hit cut again, actually the two circles are connected. So what's going to happen with those? 2 and cut, please. Okay, sorry. 3 and cut, please. I'm a very bad technical director. This is a single piece. So by, I mean, they're glued together, but by having these be fixed, and I can glue them onto the end of the tubes, it'll help give an additional brace. I mean, it's not terribly strong, but it's better than nothing onto the end of the tubes. So that should work out pretty well, I hope. And I did that poorly. There we go. So, and this just happens to be the dropout of the middle of the piece that we've got going there. And then after I got all that figured out, I went outside and used there's the label for Christie's Red Hot Glue Blue, or Red Hot Blue Glue. Yeah, and glued the two pipes together, which have been sitting now for about 3 hours. So
they're pretty dang solid.
They're pretty dang solid. Yeah, they should be pretty well set up.
I really tried to pop them apart too. Shh, don't tell.
Oh, yeah, don't. Don't abuse the poor things.
Hey, they're solid.
Come here, switcher. It's amazing how difficult it is to with a mouse. It's like, come on, do it. No, I'm not gonna do it.
Nope.
The mouse like moves, you know, because the connection's just bad. Now I'm trying to click on the chat without ruining the chat, and I lost the mouse. There we are.
There you
go. Definitely need to dig out one of my old wired mice for this side of the table.
We're figuring it out.
Having
slowly.
2 mice isn't going to be a problem as long as we're not using them both at the same time. And if we are, we better be screencasting that. Mouse wars.
It's garbage.
No, actually, I want that. So the holes that I put on into it, which you can't tear very well because it's a little ways away. That size, so the tube we want will fit into it, which is a tight fit. That was intentional. Actually, this is a bit tighter than I thought it was going to be. It wasn't that bad in the last one. But I wanted the scrap because I could line that up with the foam. Because what I'm trying to do
is plug the hole.
Yes, well, not just plug the hole. I created the hole, right? I
Yeah.
laser cut these parts. So if you hit 3 again, the pipe fits inside of the wood hole, and as I push it through, that lines up to the foam, because with the laser it's easy for me to make all these things be centered. So if I glue these 2 parts together first, then I can plug the foam into the pipe, and my cap will end up being the same all the way around with the tube, and I'm not trying to guess, which makes me happy. Go ahead and cut.
Marvel Guy's asking an interesting question.
Oh, okay.
What would be the biggest difference between blue glue that you use and contact cement?
I threw the pencil. I missed the first one. Difference between blue glue that I use and contact cement. Okay.
We talked about this, but
We did talk about this, but maybe it wasn't 100% clear enough.
contact cement is topical. You let it dry on both surfaces, and then they connect to each other, and then that's
Correct.
the connection. But it's not going to hold PVC pipe, because PVC pipe it's like a vinyl. It's just going to pop.
Correct.
It's going to peel off.
Topical is a great word for it. Yeah, the contact cement is only being applied to the surface of the materials, and it'll bind as well as it can to the surface of the material. And when both halves are mostly dry, they stick to each other, and so now you've got a mechanical bond.
Yeah.
Topically,
Great
just
for
to the
porous
surface.
materials like
Yes.
foam and leather,
And wood.
and even like rubbers. That's why they're used
Yeah.
for shoes and stuff. But
Right.
it's not great for a non-porous surface.
Like a vinyl. Which
PVC.
is why sometimes
Yeah.
I'll sand something to give it a tooth, because that will help the bonding.
Gives it porous of a surface, which this is not.
So why use the PVC glue or this brand name Christie's Red Hot Blue Glue?
Because you're literally dissolving the plastic itself, and then you're smooshing the plastic to the other plastic, and then they get intertwined and they become a chemical weld. So it is now one piece of plastic instead of 2.
Correct.
So it is a chemical weld versus a topical bond.
Yep. And the PVC glue is formulated to be able to do that to the surface and create a seal for when the pipe is under pressure, because water creates pressure inside the pipe, or else your sprinklers wouldn't spray. And so this solvent glue is a strong enough bond to withstand additional PSI so it won't leak. Which contact cement probably could do, but maybe not. And yeah.
It's
so
just, it might be enough to gunk up the seal.
Yeah.
So it's not getting plastic, but it's more like gunk than...
And because it's a solvent, Christie's glue isn't going to work on foam or wood or leather, or probably not on latex, because it's not that type of a bonding agent. Right?
Yeah.
If I say anything wrong, if anybody out on the internet hears something incorrect, please correct me.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, go ahead. You looking at Ralph's?
Yeah. He says, also, here is something I did not expect to happen. I placed a comment on a YouTube short by Nile Red, and the comment got almost 3K likes, and my channel gained almost 250 subs in like 4 days.
Oh, wow.
Mind blown emoji.
Nice. I'm glad to hear people, because I've done it, but I never knew how many other people would follow through on a username in the comments section to see, oh, he sounds like he knows what he's doing. What's clicked? Does he have a channel? Yeah. That's cool. Congratulations, Ralph.
Right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
I also like watching Nile Red.
I'm not sure if I know Nile Red.
He's the guy who made like moonshine out of toilet paper, grape soda out of gloves.
Okay.
Like, he takes things, breaks them down to their basic chemical components, and then turns them into different chemical components.
Oh, fun.
Sometimes successfully, sometimes less
Not so
successfully.
successfully.
But he takes you on the journey.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
I like that YouTube channel. I knew that reference.
Right. I understand that reference.
The problem is like, I always thought his name was Neil Reed.
Oh.
Nile Red. It makes more sense, but my brain read it versus hearing it.
Right.
And I always thought it was funny. Because I'm like, yeah, that's not your name, even though it's really his name.
The Red Nile?
The Red Nile. Neil, Nile.
Tomato.
People have preferences, and I like to respect them. But in my
Yeah.
head, like, if you learn a word by reading, it's not...
Yes. And it becomes very difficult, especially for me, to unlearn.
Right? Like Hermione's name.
Yeah.
Can't be the only one.
No.
Are we going live? Is it already time to go live?
It's a couple minutes early, but yeah, it's already time to go live.
Jeez, I haven't even pulled up the printer yet.
All good. So we went ahead with I made us go live.
Okay, well, welcome, Internet.
Hello, Internet. Welcome. I was like, oh, this is fun. I wonder if Felicia's gonna say it. Hello, welcome to the public. Welcome to the Odin Makes live stream. Again, we're now in the public portion of the video program. Hi, my name is Odin.
Hi, I'm Felicia.
And today we're working on a couple of different projects.
Or not working on it.
Or not working on it, as the case may be. I spent more time this morning working on it than I have on the stream. But I have worked on the stream.
There has been progress made.
There has been progress made. I want to put the particle collector tubes onto the side of the packs so I can get the last of the blue and the red cables ran. That's kind of where I'm working towards today.
Do you have to black those before you glue them?
Yeah, which I'll use the vinyl paint because it'll dry quick.
Does it make a big difference? Can you use regular spray paint on these?
Oh, I could, totally. Regular spray paint, depending on which spray paint it is, you can scrape off of PVC pipe a little bit, right? Like enamels can scrape off, the same issue like with the glues. They'll flake off. So the vinyl paint will bond. And the only other big difference is that black vinyl spray paint will dry in like 10 minutes. And the other spray paints may take a little bit longer before they're not tacky.
Okay, because I was thinking about spray painting all the piping I just did on my pool, just so it's all black and nice looking.
Sure.
I wasn't
and yeah,
sure
that'll
to
also
use
solar collect a little bit, because you make it all black, then as the sun hits it, whatever's going through the pipe will be warmed a little bit. But if it's moving through fast enough, it's actually just going to be cooling the pipe.
Right.
Which is kind of the same thing, right? Because if you're cooling a hot pipe with water, then technically the water is getting a little bit warmer.
Yeah. I was going to do them green so it looked like Mario pipes because I had a bunch of green spray paint.
Okay.
And I mean, that meant I didn't have to buy anything, but
Yeah. You could do that.
I think black would look cleaner.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I was thinking about spraying painting those, but I'm like, well, like I know it can, but will it look nice long term outside? Not vinyl might be the better way to go.
Might. Whichever you're comfortable doing.
Right. how much do I want to pay on spray paint when I get to the store? I think that's the bigger thing.
Yeah, the vinyl spray paint's about $13 at the auto parts store. Which, some of the Home Depot spray paints are much cheaper, so.
Yeah. Also, everything's getting more and more expensive.
Yeah.
It is 2025, and things are definitely different price than they were last year.
Right.
So, who knows these days? Ventures of Alex Stoner says, "Hey Odin, how are you doing?" And hi Felicia, how are you? Doing well.
Hello, Alex Stoner.
Clontos, I don't know how to. I can butcher anyone's name.
Oh, heck
says,
yeah.
"What is this proton? What is this proton pack for? I mean, it's been 2 years in the making. It is just pure."
I think he's being generous.
Right? No, it's seriously. It's been at least 2 years that we've been working on it, but we've been diddle daddling.
Yeah.
At least.
At least. Have a goal. So what is this for? The Proton Pack was just to do it because it was fun.
You already had the pieces.
Yeah, I already had some of the pieces because I've been looking at making a Proton Pack since the 90s.
Was like, this is cool, let's do it. And you're like,
right.
Well, I have some pieces. And I'm like, I guess that's what we're working on.
So we started this Proton Pack literally like for the first couple of weeks that Afterlife came out. Ghostbusters Afterlife. And yeah, we've been dragging our feet and working on it and whatever else ever since. And then because we added to it, started building the Trina wands, ran into issues where I was trying to do all sorts of life stuff in the background that translated to not being able to buy stuff to finish what we were doing here, which caused delays. So anyway, now we're back up to a point where with the help of Louis Causey, we've got wands. The packs are nearly at a point of being presentable, and the goal is to have packs for SAC Anime, because we'll be able to be Ghostbusters at SAC Anime if we get the packs done. I'd like to get them done a little bit more than that, I think, that's still September, so that's going to work out fine. Because I want to go to Kaboom Con, which is Ghostbusters 2 themed. That's going to be in Carson City, Nevada, after SAC Anime.
We have an end goal and a reason to finish them now.
Yes.
So that is going to put that little fire we need to get our projects done.
Yes.
Because, we can easily just drag out any project by not working on it, diddle-daddling on it.
Oh, heck yeah.
Like, you guys witnessed this.
You know this. A lot of you guys live this, too.
Right?
Welcome to the ADHD Craft Hour.
But then there's the pressure of we have somewhere to wear this to.
Right.
And I feel like we could get them to wearable.
I think we could absolutely get these to wearable. SAC Anime, for those of you who don't know, is happening the last weekend of August, which gives us 3 months literally to get this done. Realistically, in that amount of time frame, if we were getting paid to do it, we could start right now and be done in time.
Oh yeah. But, we could have been done. We could have taken a week. We've done bigger projects in smaller amount of time with higher pressure. But we also don't have anybody lighting a fire under our butts to get it done, so we haven't really.
Right. I mean, you guys try. Appreciate it.
But... Yep. That's going to
work better. That's okay.
Watched it in slow motion.
Yep. I was watching it peripherally. Trash.
Yeah.
The brass rod will be just fine for lining them up, so I'm going to use that instead.
Yeah,
the foam will give.
Happy Ghostbusters Day.
Today is Ghostbusters Day, isn't it?
Yeah.
We were joking.
Sabo says, Happy Ghostbusters Days, guys. So happy Ghostbusters Day. Sorry for butchering your name.
And yeah, we joked about maybe trying to have some of the Ghostbusters here, and I completely forgot to ask anybody. So nobody's here. It's amazing how that works out. But we're here.
But I did bring
Terror
my
Dog
steam.
Squad's going to Kaboom Con.
Oh, that's cool.
Sorry.
No worries.
But you did bring what?
My steamer to steam the outfits.
Oh, good. That's what. Okay. Nice.
That's what that was for.
That's the other steamer. Okay.
Yeah, I brought a smoosher.
Bought a smoosher.
And a steamer. Because I need both for different things, but I thought that they would both work for different things we could work on today. Interesting. They do have to have the tension pretty on point in order for this to work. Because you can see the black dots from the black thread on this side.
Oh, yeah, don't they?
But you don't see the white dots from this side on that side because the tension's pulling too. But it's more blended because there's all the little black dots on the side anyways.
Yeah. No, but yeah. So the tension between the bobbin and the top thread.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. I mess that up all the time.
Right? I'm like, hey, look, they actually took the effort to do it halfway decently. They could have trimmed these threads better, but I'm not going to complain about that. Nobody's going to know.
Especially from the stands, the audience will never see
Well,
it.
it's gonna be on camera, like, and nobody's.
Are you gonna have a close up of the
waistband?
Of the waistband?
If we did, they probably wouldn't be looking at the threads, to tell you the honest truth.
Exactly. The camera's not gonna be focusing on the threads, unless the camera's focusing on the threads with a macro shot.
But what's funny is that sometimes these little details just make it look cleaner, and you can't put your finger on what's cleaner about it.
Yeah.
Because mistakes repeated over and over now are a pattern.
Mm-hmm.
This is not where it belongs.
Forgot to bring that stuff in. I'll have to go and run and grab it. I do have mail today.
We got mail?
We got mail. In fact, I got some of it I haven't even opened yet. I got a couple of handwritten letters. Remember, there was somebody that was asking in chat a while ago. And I believe those have arrived. And then got some stuff that came from Japan.
Oh,
yeah.
Impressive.
Yes.
Okay. The threads have been clipped. I get a little more hole inside.
A little more hole inside?
Right. They used to never bother me, and now I can't unsee them. They need to go.
All good. You only got 9 more to do.
Well, I have to figure out how the graphics are going to go on these ones first.
Right.
That is the question. Let's see. Aria51 says, hey guys.
Hey, Aria.
Vixen says, yes, but have you planned on a cookout in the new place yet? And then Schultz Division says, there's something coming after the Proton Pack? Insane stuff. Ha 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 ha. Just kidding. You know what's funny is we've had multiple projects planned for after the Proton Packs, but none of those are actually going to happen at this point.
Nope. Yeah, we did. We had multiple projects planned. Yeah, I don't know.
I have the Pink Power Ranger stuff all ready to go, but that could be one.
Could be.
And
not against that.
There's also, we have all the stuff for Barf.
Yeah.
But that one's not as interesting.
Not quite.
Yeah. It might be to others.
Yeah, it could be.
Could be.
Barf was really cool, and then there was another local cosplayer who I like and I'm friends with who does Barf constantly.
Yeah.
And while that isn't an issue because Barf isn't doing Barf on my channel, that was enough that, like,
somebody's already doing it. I don't need to do it. Yeah.
Which I know tons of people are doing it, so that's really dumb. There's barfs all over. Everyone barfs, but
doesn't feel so unique.
I didn't want to step on Ron's toes. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And I get it.
Okay, I should probably stay in the inside of the pipe.
I don't know. We have plenty of time to think about that. We have to
Yeah.
SAC Anime. Maybe at SAC Anime we can have people vote on, like, what our next project is.
Oh, that'd be, oh boy.
Well, we've done a lot of interesting ones.
Yeah.
So we give them the options. I'm not afraid. But if they pick the options, I might be.
Right. Fair enough. So I'm going to sand the inside of the pipe a little bit before I add super glue to it. Because one of the things I remember Adam Savage talking about at Mythbusters that I thought was very interesting, they would take large pieces of PVC pipe or ABS pipe and fill it full of that 2-part casting epoxy they like to use, right?
Okay.
So urethane, casting resin, which is effectively Gorilla Glue.
It's an expanding foam.
Some of it expands, some of it doesn't. They would use the non-expanding type, so it was just a liquid. It was just set solid, and then since it's set up inside of the pipe, and the pipe is perfectly, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's cast glossy, they could actually take a rubber mallet and tap it out and remove it from the pipe. And they would use that as a lathing blank for making prototype things that could then cast and make out of something real, right? It was like a quick way of doing. And so if I want to take super glue or something to the inside of the pipe, you can tap it out. So I'm going to need to sand it to give it some tooth.
So that it,
Yeah.
Because those make really good smooth pipes because you don't want things getting caught in them.
No, you don't want icky, nasty, getting caught up in the pipe. No.
Yeah, it needs to be very, no, makes sense. Bernie Davis is here. Louis Coffey saying Happy Ghostbusters Day.
Sweet! Happy.
I am jealous. You use that thing all the time.
All the damn time.
All the time. It looks like the stupidest tool, but you always pull it out.
Yeah, I really like this tool.
What
this
is
is
it?
the Ryobi half-inch belt sander, battery-operated belt sander. So, yeah, they've got probably 80 grit on it right now, I think. I usually got pretty high grit on it.
Yeah.
I can't see it. But literally, it's a handheld belt sander. It's sort of like a sanding belt chainsaw.
It's like an emery board.
Yeah.
If it was made before Benford.
Yes,
Bedford,
emery board for
Emery
Benford. Yeah. Yeah, that works. But
I tried. Marble Guy wants to know how often do you do mail on your live streams, and I feel like when it gets sent.
yeah.
That's when it's here.
Yeah, when it's here.
And when you have a chance to pick it up.
Yeah, there's that too.
Louis Coffey says my group is having a Ghostbusters party, so have a happy Ghostbuster party today. Eat extra pizza, because I always assume you'd have pizza at a Ghostbusters party. It just seems appropriate. That and s'mores.
Yeah, marshmallows for sure at a Ghostbuster
S'mores
party.
is
Yeah.
like totally
Yeah.
maybe some ecto slime refreshments like drinks or something. Or a key lime pie. I don't know. You can have fun. Hope you have a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah. Smells like burnt PVC. Can't imagine why.
Stupid Monkey says, do Power Rangers! I have some Lego Power Rangers to tie in with it.
Totally down for Power Rangers. Totally down for a couple of different Power Rangers projects. I know you really want to do Pink Power Ranger, and absolutely we need to do Pink Power Ranger. I have now ran into Carla 3 times.
Without getting that staff
Without
made.
having a staff made for Rita. So, additionally at, not that I want to do it for a live stream, but additionally at Creators Con, we were next to the White Space Ranger. Jason was the actor's name. I can't
Well, we
remember
were by the
his name.
Yellow Ranger.
We were by the Yellow
Stockton
Ranger at
Con.
Stockton Con, yeah, but actually got a chance to talk to him a little bit, and he talked to Chuck Rumman a lot, because we didn't have like a wall between us, you know, because I built the wall between us and the Yellow Ranger. It's all my fault.
It was just to make it more comfortable to take videos and pictures
Yeah.
without being disrespectful of others in that space.
Very much true, because one of the big things with anybody who's there as a performer, as a guest to a con, getting paid for autographs and pictures is their product. So I didn't want to have people coming to my booth and wanting to take pictures of my stuff, which I let them do, and get pictures of the Yellow Ranger. Yeah, so.
And I got in trouble because I was getting a video of me getting up to Odin's spot, and they're like, you need to delete that. I'm like, I wasn't getting the people, you know?
Yeah.
But I deleted it in front of them. I was like, here, it's gone.
Wow.
I was the
you need
bad
to
one.
delete that. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I was like, is it okay?
Yeah.
When we got that shot.
So anyway, apparently Jason was talking to Shop Grumman about getting a White Ranger helmet made, Space Ranger, because one he's got is fiberglass, and it's getting a little old and it's heavy, and also it's a little tight, I think.
Yeah. So how would you go about getting a pattern for a Power Ranger helmet? Seeing if they exist already?
They do exist already. Do 3D I think has 3D printable patterns for all the different Power Ranger helmets. But the Space Ranger helmets are spherical, or practically spherical. So.
I'm just having flashbacks of that. Hold on.
I mean, Shady would know. He would be able to absolutely correct me on what I'm saying wrong about the shape of Power Ranger helmets, but.
Yeah.
And I would trust him. Yeah, that's over in the corner. That could be fun too.
And look at, you're using your favorite tool. They cannot see. Space alien helmet. That's
3.
clear. Here,
3 and put
handing you.
Okay.
Ready? 3.
That was weird. I was expecting a picture, so when I was moving,
the picture was moving. It's a Harry Potter picture.
Yeah, it's a Harry Potter picture. Ah! Well, I was going to move my hand to get it in place, and all I saw was the color detail at first. It was doing this. And so I thought I was over moving, and I ended up just pushing the phone out of screen.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this was a Raul Gonzo project, right? And,
yeah.
And suddenly came and it's like, hey, we need to have this so it fits over the actor's head and
do
what we can to.
That's the one where we have the air circulate it in so that they could A, breathe, and B,
That
also
helps.
not fog up the thing.
And what's awesome, when it was all said and done, Gonzo walked the dome back and said, well, I don't have a use for this. I can't return it.
So now we have space alien helmet costumes if we need them for anything.
Now we have a bubble helmet.
Right? I don't think it's going to quite work for Power Rangers, but
No,
that's what
not
I was
quite.
just sitting, like, you're like, dome, space helmet, and that's instantly where I go, dome, space helmet.
Right.
Oh, heck yeah, I love it. You going to put it on?
Bang my head.
You're totally, you're fine now.
Luke, I am your father, Luke. Anyway, yeah, so. The fun thing, though, is going to get this thing off past my nose. Because it's going to be a barb that, because, yeah, my head barely fit into this thing. Then it rides up a little high, like my chin is on it.
The model that wore it had a very long neck.
Well, yeah, and probably had smaller shoulders and,
Yeah, because it was fit to her.
yeah.
It's pushing you up.
Can't imagine why it's getting, oh no, I'm going to go to the hospital. Can't imagine why it's hot in here now.
Smoosh! You smoosh it, you smoosh it.
I smoosh my nose so it comes out.
You could be a gumball machine for Halloween.
Yeah, there you go. I'll just be a giant Tom Zerfo.
There you go.
Actually, one of the things that was interesting, although perfectly round isn't the right shape, I would still like to make Dr. Evil's moon suit. his spacesuit.
Bernie Davis says, make dark helmet.
Yes! I've had that asked a number of times, and that kind of needs to happen.
Louis Cossey says, Hasbro packs come out in March. Will Odin beat them to the punch?
Thank you, Lewis. Maybe?
Maybe, we'll see. We have a goal of SAC Anime.
We do, which is only the end of summer, so. However, totally appropriate teasing, and all you guys are welcome to keep doing that.
Louis Cossey. Felicia wants to use a belt sanders to do her fingernails. No, I like a glass sander for that.
Yes, glass sanders are way better for fingernails.
But I also just don't do my nails. Anyways. As somebody who works with their hands, I don't often get my nails done because then I can't use my hands, and I am not as creative. Although sewing with long fingernails is amazing because you can get right into that needle.
Mm-hmm.
But But I don't just sew. I do lots of things, and so having pretty nails is not in my cards very often. Oh well. Advixen says, space, you mean Silver Rangers who's blonde. Sorry, Ranger nerd. 2B Rock V or 5. What about Lego Classic Space Helmet?
I would not be opposed to I don't want to I want to make a giant Lego figure. I want to make a giant Odin scale Lego figure. I'd love to make a classic space helmet and classic space tanks to go along with that size figure. I'm not interested in making a set that I would wear because I don't have a Lego body. Sorry.
And you'd want the complete set, and you wouldn't just do the helmet. But you do have the Lego Batman helmet.
I do have the Lego Batman helmet. That didn't bother me, believe it or not. But the Spaceman, don't want to do it.
No worries.
Yeah. I've seen cosplay done of Lego Spaceman where it's a blue spacesuit, you got the logo on it and everything else. It's a very humanized version of what the Lego figure is, and it doesn't hit me as Lego. I don't know why. Lego Batman, I didn't care. Maybe because I don't have the nostalgia.
It has the shoulders and it has the shape, and it's not so much focused on the,
Yeah, and it didn't, because good call. I'm probably just way biased towards classic space, and so I don't want to.
You don't want to ruin it.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin it.
Don't taint it.
Or I would just never be happy with it.
Right? Don't mess with it because you have too much nostalgia for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Bernie Davis says, Zane, the Space Silver Ranger. And then Louis Cossey says, Felicia, I saw on the news Michaels is buying out Joanne's name brand merch.
Yep, I saw that too. Have you seen that?
I have. We'll see what happens. I feel like things...
I don't think they're going to be opening up Joann's stores. Aren't they just buying the name, the
I think
in-house
you're going to
brands?
be able to buy fabric and yarns from Michaels.
Yeah.
Because the thing is the market is not gone. People, like, you have to go into stores to tangibly feel fabrics and yarns.
Yes, you do.
Especially when you're a fiber artist, when you're a sewist, like that
Yeah.
is... There are people who, like, sew for a living, but then there's people who go buy craft supplies.
Yeah, exactly, because hoarding craft supplies is a big part of the project. Yeah.
Is a hobby in and of itself.
Absolutely.
So, like, those hobbyists still exist. We still have that love for those textiles and fibers in our hearts, and that's something I'm not the only one who refuses to do it digitally. I cannot buy fabric online because the color, the dye lot, the drape, the weight, the weave, like, I know I have the language to order what I think I want.
Right, but
it's way easier to go and this one feels like the right one. This is the one. This one looks like the lights. I can take it inside, out. So anyways.
Yeah.
So I feel like Joann's is changed. Like, their name's gone. I'm missing them. I love them. They had a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
They were Cloth World at some point, or Joann's bought Cloth World, or...
I think Joann's bought Cloth World. I remember Fabric Land.
Fabric Land existed. I knew people... Like, those were my happy places as a child, you know? Go pick out a pattern and pick out the fabrics. And just first introduction to design.
I used to kill time at Fabric Land. I was doing whatever delivery route I had, and if I got back a little early, instead of going back to the shop, I would go into Fabric Land and kill time so I could go back to the shop when I was supposed to be there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Go check out the clearance, see what is in the remnants.
Just look at stuff, touch stuff. And that was back when shops were... the Fabric Land that I went to was more claustrophobic and stuff was stacked higher. And I'm sort of like the old Toys R Us was, you know, all the way to the 16-foot ceiling full of product. That just doesn't happen anymore. Nobody invests that much in material product to sit in a store in hopes of selling it anymore.
Because it takes up space.
Because it takes up space. And tastes change so much faster now.
Yeah. Oh, and I miss Hancock fabrics.
Yes, absolutely miss Hancock fabrics.
They had better quilting fabrics, but I do... Like, those places are nostalgic. And Michael's was never a fabric store.
Nope.
But there aren't any fabric stores.
No, there are no...
Traditional fabric stores left.
There are no chain fabric stores in this area.
I'm very spoiled, and I haven't shopped at Joann's in years. I'm not saying I was part of the downfall, just...
You're totally down for the downfall. What?
I'm not a private equity firm. I'm just saying. It was not my fault. Me not shopping at Joann's and only shopping clearance is not affecting their bottom line. They were fine.
Yeah.
It was not my fault. But I hadn't been shopping them for years because I've been shopping local.
Yes, which is...
World-class textiles, high-fashion fabrics, min-fat fabrics. Those are local Sacramento fabric stores where you have them to the ceiling, and it is rolls of fabric and stuff like that. But
and a couple of those stores are awesome because depending on if you're paying cash or card, the price will change.
You can haggle.
Yeah.
It is a small business. It is amazing, and I appreciate having easy access being on a coastal city and an import city and a major hub where I have access to a lot of these fabrics where people who are more isolated don't have as much access. And I understand because people were like, when the Joann's closed over down at the other end of Folsom, they were like, there's no fabric stores on this side of Rancho Cordova.
Right.
And it just made it harder, and then it got harder, and now there's less and less and less. But I'm very spoiled that I live ridiculously close to all these fabric places, and I don't fully take advantage of them. But I can only sew so much, people.
Right.
But Joann's, there's still a love and a need.
Yeah. And it was interesting to me that I remember watching Joann go from being pretty much fabric only to suddenly having all this craft stuff.
And it's the thing is people complain about that, but it's so much fun to walk up and down those aisles and look at it and know it's going to be 40% off in a month.
Sure. I wasn't trying to complain about it. It was just I was just seeing it happen that the fabric store was skewing towards more crafts, and Michael's, which was always in arts and crafts, skewed more towards heavy crafts and paint by number crafts.
Yeah.
And less fine art.
Yeah. It's because that's where the money is.
That's where the money is. Yeah. No, that's just the way it worked out. Yeah.
Yeah. they accepted each other's coupons, so they were in direct competition with each other while serving slightly different markets. So. Okay.
I'm gonna walk. No, I'll wait. I'm gonna get a Q-tip because
do you want to do both sides?
I should do both sides. I'm both ready. Before I go out and spray paint it, because if I spray paint onto wood, even this hard wood, well, I got a lot of glue on my finger.
I'm gonna put this away from the super glue.
That's a good plan. I want to do yet another thing I remember hearing Mythbusters and Jamie Hyneman doing, which was he would seal stuff with super glue because it was a fast and quick and easy way to seal something. So this is a heavy plastic. In order for my wood pieces to have a similar texture underneath the spray paint, I'm going to go ahead
and give it a plastic size
and give it a
surface.
Just cover it with super glue and then hit kicker onto it. So when I go out and spray it, hopefully it'll have all the same type of texture. And I'm not worried about it being lumpy on the end because if you look at the Murray Pack close-ups, it's got a really nasty artistic, weld line on it.
Mistakes made over and over become a pattern.
Yeah.
And now it's texture.
Because it could have just been the prop guy who knew how to weld but wasn't a welder, just welded the pipes together.
Or they wanted the texture, or they were running out of time.
Because supposedly Egon made it, and he's not a welder, he's a scientist. I mean, I don't doubt that Egon can do these things, but, there's a craftsman and there's the ability to do it.
Right? Theoretically, I know how to do it, but you have to smoosh and you have to smoosh and you have to know what the smooshing does and why you do it.
Right?
Yep. So, that is my opinion on Michaels. I'm glad that the thing's not completely out of touch and out of reach, but at the same time, it's not the same and things are a-changing.
No.
And the market's not going away. We still have to buy that in person.
Yes.
That is something like, yes, we can order it online and it's more and more easier to get things, but fabric and yarn.
Uh-huh.
If you have a place for people to travel to and touch and purchase, it's going to sell in those environments.
And in both cases, a big part of that is dye lot.
Yep.
Like what I ran into with...
Color, like I said, color, weight, drape. These are all physical, tangible properties that you can describe with lots of words, but you don't know until you feel it.
Because I ordered red pipe. What they sent was, I guess, technically red. That isn't going to work at all for a yarn project. No, skein color is very important, right?
Yep. Dye lots matter. And the crazy thing is fabric dye lots matter.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
And then also, like, with the wedding dresses, there was...
oh, wow, this is way looser.
We had this floral and leaves fabric that we ordered over and over and over and over again.
Okay.
Sometimes it would come in, and it was amazing. It was a tight weave. Like, the motifs were about this big, and it was a dream to work with. Sometimes it would come in, and the floral motifs were about this big, and it was like a looser weave, and it just felt like it frayed every time we cut it out. And so it was sometimes the tension of the weaving machine makes a difference in the laces.
Interesting.
So, like...
Because it was the same pattern.
It's the exact same fabric that we ordered over and over and over again, and some were, like, well-made, some weren't as well-made, and some were slightly different colors to the other colors, and some were... Like, I have... Like, you couldn't just pull a scrap out of the scrap bin. It'd have to be a scrap for the same bolt, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Otherwise, they're just not going to match. And
Stupid Monkey says, I'm your destiny. And Schultz Division says, look, a Martian. I think when you had the helmet on.
Oh, right. Yes. So, because I am your destiny. No, density should be. So I'm your destiny.
Oh, density?
Does it say density?
I thought it said destiny.
I'm behind on it. So
I'm your density.
Does it say density? Because that's a Back to the Future line.
Then yes, it does. I just misread it.
All right. And Louis Causey, as Dr. Smith would say, "You bubble-headed booby." Yes, he was always bitching at the robot. Yeah. That is a cool robot.
Will Robertson.
Yeah. Yep. We've gone down this rabbit hole before with a Lost in Space robot, which is again a bubble-headed robot, but squished bubble, even more than the Dr. Evil had squished. And that's a cool robot, and I've seen one awesome cosplay of the B9 robot.
Yeah. Adventures of Alex Stoner, cool helmet. Bertie Davis, Felicia can be Sandy Cheeks from SpongeBob with that helmet.
Yeah, actually you could.
Right? Alex Stoner, hey Odin, did you know that the new Marvel movie Fantastic Four is coming in July 25th, 2025?
I had noticed, yes.
I did not.
Oh, yeah.
And then Schultz Divisions, we need the new Fantastic Four suits. Felicia, create templates, please.
All right.
Aren't they just like... I haven't seen the new movies.
The new ones, there's a bit more going on.
All right, I have.
And there's still retro future, which is pretty cool.
I like retro futurism. Fantastic Four. Don't worry, we are live.
That's fine. You're doing research.
Oh, okay.
So there's a little more going on. Yeah, and Ben Grimm.
That is completely doable.
Yeah.
And I would probably. So you know how we did the pink Power Rangers, and I went for specifically the thermal underwear?
Yeah.
That's what I would start with for these.
The thermal underwear? Okay.
Well, not the... Okay, thermal underwear, not the waffle thermal underwear, but when you go shopping on Amazon and they have the microfiber thermal...
Gotcha. So this is the Under Armour or microfiber?
It's microfiber.
Okay. And because those are textured, and they have like down the arm they have patterns like vault suits, and there's a lot going on. They're not just the classic blue and white suits. They've got a lot of detail, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, you can see kind of the texture here.
No, he's almost like a corduroy.
Well, that's foam under. Remember when we did that with the Vault armor suit? We did the under.
Technically, this being Ben Grimm, that's CGI, but yeah.
Yeah, but remember how we glued the foam underneath. On the inside of the suit to give it those cutouts?
Yes.
That would be what you would do to get that texture.
Gotcha.
But the thermal underwear that I'm talking about is a smooth finish. It's like a nice knit, and it's smooth, but it has the fuzzy on the inside. And the reason I like that versus just a spandex suit is because then it's not as naked.
Yes.
You know how you see panty lines, you see bra lines, you see every lump and bump on different spandex and synthetic.
Oh yeah.
As somebody who's worked at a costume shop, I've had lots of experience with the different bodysuits, and not all synthetics, not all spandex suits are made the same. There are ones that like hold and push and smoosh you in all the ways you want to be pushed and smushed. And then there's the ones that just, you know what I mean? They're like...
Show off all the wrong things.
And then there's the ones where it's like a two-way stretch that should be a four-way stretch, and it just does... It feels like a trap. Like, they all have their places, and they all act differently, but the reason I like the microfiber thermal underwear is because it has that little bit of a padding between the outside... and your undergarments and everything, so it's not... It's skin tight without showing lumps and bumps.
Yeah.
It's forgiving, is what I mean.
Believe it or not, this was a major issue. I mean, I'm sure you can all believe it very well. Star Trek The Next Generation. The first couple of seasons, the season 1 and season 2, they had spandex pajamas. They were a one-piece suit. Something Roddenberry always wanted. That's why Motion Picture had it as well. What they ran into during test screens is you saw all the lumps and bumps. So we went from having this spandex jumpsuit that was going to be easy to they had a spandex undersuit and then the spandex uniform over it. So everyone's wearing two suits.
Which is a solution, but it can be warm.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily warm, but it can be. And it also can be uncomfortable wearing nylons under anyways.
And that's probably why third season they moved to the suit and jacket uniform, still having the black spandex undersuit, but now when it's lunchtime you can take your jacket off.
Right?
Yeah.
So anyways, I highly recommend those just because they are very they come in all the colors and they have the right spandex for having a tight suit without being icky with that.
And for any of you aspiring Spider-Man cosplayers, please wear a spandex undersuit. Please.
We used to have to give the actors double chonies when we would put them in some of those spandex suits.
You know, double chonies would probably be good too. Yeah, if you had double chonies, that would probably be mostly what you need, or speedos and literal swimwear
boxer
speedos.
Briefs because it has the leg, and it kind of double underwear because it would be very. It's nice
you can see some very personal things with some of the Spider-Man cosplayers that I've seen, especially as we sit at a table.
Yes.
Yeah.
And do the bend over test. See if you can see through your shorts.
Yes.
Just before you go out in public, just in front of the mirror, bend over, go, oh, I can see too much.
Yeah.
Unless that's what you want, and then I don't judge.
No, yeah. So depending on what your goal is. Same issue with photography versus fabrics. I remember a couple of shoots with Brittany. It's like, do you have an undershirt? Because I can plainly see your brassiere underneath your top. There's a big color difference. And she went, oh, yeah, thank you. And she went and put on whatever and came back out. Perfect. Couldn't see it in person, but the camera can see it because the light reflects.
I love camera. Like messing with cameras.
Yeah.
Like with color and fabrics. It's one of my favorite things. Like when I can find a fabric that just messes with the camera and it doesn't know what to do. It makes me really happy inside. Like those really intense fuchsias and reds and stuff. Or sparkles.
Sparkles!
Yeah, and moire.
Yeah, moire. Oh, God, moire. Yes.
I love moire.
Star Trek, moire. So the original Star Trek series, there was a moire pattern on Spock's science station. It was a pair of concentric circle diagrams that one was on transparency. You lay them on top of each other, ever so slightly offset, and then put one on a clock mechanism, and you get this funky futuristic, like, magnetic field thing. It's called a moire pattern. Fine texture and fine patterns on clothes will do the moire pattern on video and on rescaled images. So, and you'll get these weird topographical lines.
Optical illusions, and I love it.
Yeah, they're fun and annoying.
Yes. Not allowed to do it for like professional stuff.
No.
But personally, I love it.
Yeah, that's fun. I'm going to pop out for a second just to get a Q-tip.
Oh, I thought you were going to spray these.
Oh, I'm gonna grab a Q-tip so I can seal these up. Yeah, and then I'll pop out and spray paint it, and then we can get your stuff going while this dries.
Okay, sounds
because we haven't touched your side quest much at all.
That's all right. I have to do it.
There's fumes there.
I noticed that. I was just wondering if I could see all the way through.
Didn't realize there was going to be fumes. Oh yeah, no, I picked up on that a little bit. I think you got probably the one that wasn't quite as set up. Okay. Or maybe that was the one I sprayed, and so it's worse.
I think it is worse, but that's all right. I now know. It's dangerous. Don't put it too close to your eyeballs.
Yes.
No gluing things to your eyeballs. That's not a good thing. All right. Interesting. I didn't know that, Bernie Davis. Chronologically, Egan was a licensed mortician. Now, I could see how they got into ghost busting, but how did he learn the science to trap them? Aw, Schultz Division, that like button's really lonely. Give it a slap. Thank you for that. Oh. Come in, Odin. We are having a good weekend. You can spray paint the yellow pipe red. What's your issue? Because if you want a red thing and you ordered a red thing and you got an orange thing, it's a little frustrating, and I get it, but we made it. We fixed it. DJ Stumpy, this week I've been trying to get a suit jacket lined. It's Simplicity Pattern 1039. Got really far and having to now unpick the lining because the neckline ruffled up. Good times. Stay stitching. It may or may not have you do that step in the instructions. It's been forever since I've actually followed a pattern instruction, but if you stay stitched within the seam allowance before you start to attach it, it's not going to stretch out on you. And then also, it's one of those things you pin and then you just kind of got to smoosh it and smoosh it. Good luck. I hate ripping things out, but it makes things better.
Yeah.
You got everything taken care of?
Yeah, mail.
Oh, and you got mail?
Stuff for mail, yep.
Oh.
It's not time yet, but I was out, so I grabbed it all.
Yeah. Bernie Davis said that chronologically, Egan was a licensed mortician.
Oh, really?
Right?
Okay.
Like, when did they tell us that detail?
Yeah.
Like, how was it told to us? I don't remember.
Egon or Egan? Egon, right?
What's the difference between... Oh, Patrick Egan.
Patrick Egan or Egon Spengler. And I heard Egon. I pictured Egon when you said it, and then it's like, oh wait a minute, you're saying Egan. So I'm starting to scan to make sure.
No, it was just me getting those two names mixed up.
Oh no, that makes sense. That totally makes sense that he would have been a licensed mortician.
Right? But how did he learn to trap the ghosts?
I don't know. It's probably covered somewhere, and I'm sure like a lot of morticians, it was because they kept hanging out. It's like, you're dead. You don't have to be here anymore. Yeah.
Advixen says, sorry, I was driving, but Odin, what about making Lego hand gloves?
Okay, that could be fun.
And then 2B-Rock5 says, about your idea of a full-body Lego cosplay, I remember there's actually one made by Lego. It's on the instructions introduction from the Galaxy Explorer remake from 2022.
Yep. And if you look at it, I believe that is a cosplayer by the name of Rude. Again, I'm probably saying it wrong. Yeah. And out of all the different ones I've seen, his blue spacesuit before Benny, he just did a blue spaceman because that's what we wanted to do. I think was one of the best ones I've ever seen, and because he's got. It's the issue of like Gundam. Lego are humanoid, but a human doesn't fit in them. And so Pyle Rude, I'm saying he, I don't know. Pyle Rude managed it really well, and it looks right.
Yes. Mighty Guitar Mod says, making a Lego hands, that sounds like it would be fun. Avixen says, I do like how a cast list and post-credit movie spoils the Fantastic Four movie.
Yep.
He said it sarcastically.
Oh, he's saying it sarcastically?
Yeah. That's okay. I had the Ghostbusters movie ruined for me right in the post. I mean, the pre-credits before it even got started.
Because,
like,
yeah, because you had the freaking ads come on. You're not wrong. Okay, I'm going to spoil something from the very end of the Disney Channel series called The Book of Boba Fett. If you have not seen The Book of Boba Fett, there is a major after-credit scene after the last episode. And so I'm watching the credits because I do that because I'm interested. I read who plays what because I'm curious if somebody came back. I like to read who... I recognize designer names and model builder names.
That one guy we met at that one con, is he listed?
Yeah, is Christopher here? Yeah, exactly. Or the other guy, the artist who, I don't remember his name now, but him, the one that designed the Heavy Mando. Anyway, so I'm reading the credits, and it's the normal credits, and one thing pops up. I literally pause it because it says Bib Fortuna and gives a name. Now, Bib Fortuna was the guy, the Twi'lek male that you saw, or Twi'lek male that you saw in the original Return of the Jedi. He's the one that talked to Luke and was like, they call him the Major Domo. He was in Return of the Jedi as this Jabba the Hutt guy, right? He was a big guy for Jabba the Hutt. So somebody had action figure for, familiar with, was not in the series. It's like, what the hell? So I'm looking at this, looking at something else. Finally let it finish playing, and there's like a 1 minute or 2 minute after credit scene with Bib Fortuna and a bunch of other stuff of Boba Fett. Shame on me for paying attention.
Hey. Like I said, if people notice,
yeah,
it's like, oh, thank you, you've noticed.
Right.
Yeah.
Or are you talking about the other David guy that was the drummer for... Man, I've met a few Jedi actors, haven't I? A few Star Wars actors.
Right? We've seen some interesting people at all these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the other guy we're talking about is actually from the reshoots. He came from the special edition. He was one of the Weequay characters. And he was the big Kodo drummer, the big drum for Jabba's band, for the new band, with this Jedi Rocks song as opposed to the Lapidi Neck song, which I actually kind of like better.
Yeah. I'm distracted by comments, sorry.
That's fine.
Advixen says, unless you're a woman in Star Trek, then it was the reverse, from skirt to spandex. Oh, yeah.
Right.
It went around a few times, but...
They tried to be more equal in Next Generation, too.
Letting the guys wear the little...
Their first couple episodes, they called them scants.
Scants.
Yeah,
Squants.
so they tried to make the mini skirt to keep it there, because the mini skirt from the original series, because it was the 60s.
You know, that was liberation and the future, and oh my gosh, we'd be so scandalous later. It wouldn't even be an issue. Now it's gone full circle.
Yep.
Yeah. Mighty Guitar Mod says, hey, Odin, don't forget to dig out your drill press. You actually
Hey,
did.
I did. But
It's
thank
so
you,
good.
Mighty Guitar Mod. I did dig it out, and I've used it a few times. I'm not on this particular project, but right now. But no, it's both bandsaws are out, and which I've used the foam saw, and yeah, I have a foam saw and a wood saw. They're both bandsaws with the blades.
One's set up for foam and one is set up for wood
or other
because he's
things.
spoiled.
Yes,
And
yes, I
has
am.
Two giant machines for
Yeah, yep. Both of which I acquired, neither one of which I paid for. Thank you very much, Ken, and thank you very much, John Pasa, for basically, in John Pasa's case, it was like, hey, can you just hold on to this forever? And yeah, and
No.
Ken gave me his. It's
I
like,
completely
I don't want this
get
back.
it. Like that's how I got this thing.
Yeah, which
That
is
thing's
cool.
amazing and I love it, but I hardly use it. But when I need to use it, it is the best.
Yeah.
Schultz Division, youngest kid is sick. I have to go early.
Oh,
Take care. Everyone hit the like button.
Thank
Feel
you, Schultz
better-
Division.
Feel better, Schultz Division's
Yeah.
youngest kid.
Yes, feel better, Micro Schultz.
Vixen, sorry Odin, but Dan proves you can put a guy in a Gundam as long as they're proportional.
You're okay, sure. Dan did a fantastic job getting the Gundam suit put together that looks really good. The issue is, if you really look at a Gundam suit, the head is way too small for any living human to fit with the proportions of the shoulders and the torso.
And
then
having
the
your
legs,
shoulders fit through the shoulders in order to reach
Yeah.
the arms, you'd have
Yeah.
to be like this.
Exactly. And then the legs are the classic, like, 70s fashion style legs that are, 50% of the body or more than the normal legs are. They're longer than they
They're
should
9
be.
heads versus...
Yeah, they're 9
12
heads.
heads versus the 7 that people technically are.
That's it. That's the issue with Gundam. They're still humanoid. They're just not human proportions.
Yep. Bernie Davis, Junk Dan does. Oh, Junk does Dan.
Junk does, Dan.
DJ Stumpy, how would you steampunk a Proton Pack? It might be interesting to build in the future if you want another go at it.
Yeah.
Gears. I would highly do gears, like the
Nixie tubes, gears, lots of perforated metal for venting.
and I would probably do it in an oiled bronze over black.
Yeah.
Like, I'd mess with the color.
Yeah.
I would definitely add some more, like, clockwork gears into it. And...
Well, this worked, but it's not as smooth as I wanted it to be. Oh, well.
and probably emphasize more wooden elements
Right.
over metal elements. And I would bring in more like brass, copper tubing over plastic tubing.
Yeah. No, it definitely would have copper. Yes.
And I might, instead of doing the light up thing, I might do like a boiler look.
A boiler would be cool.
Like with a smoke or, you know what I mean? Like I would go for a boiler feel versus a electric feel. But that's my opinion of how I would do that. But in my head, I just want these ones done.
Yeah, no, I just want these done, and right now while these are fun, and we have a lot of new friends because we're doing these, I am not specifically trying to jump right into another Proton Pack. While Proton Pack has been a primary thing on the channel for a very long time.
We're ready to move on to other projects.
Yeah.
When we did the Wonder Woman costume,
We did.
each accessory every week, so we had something done at the end of the day, which
Yes.
was always nice.
Right.
Sense of accomplishment.
Helps.
Right? And this one we just really drug out.
Well, yeah. This one always intimidated me because I always came from the point of view of I'm going to make it from scratch, not having anything else. So as soon as, was it you that pointed out Lost Wax Oz had done the pack, or it was just happenstance that the movie came out and he did it?
You're the one who noticed that he had done it because
Okay.
you're like, I don't want to step on his toes. And I'm
Right.
like, well, and you reached out and said, hey, can we follow your tutorial?
Yeah, if I buy your pattern, can I make a live stream building your pattern?
Because I was excited. I was like, you mean we don't have to start from scratch?
Yeah, exactly. And he was like, oh yeah, sure, that'd be great. 'Cause that's where I got the idea of the yoga ball for the Captain America shield.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, as much as I don't want to take someone else's art, if I am taking something inspired by them, I really want to give them credit because that's well, it's fair. And most of the time, I seem to have a higher subscriber base. So I really want to make sure that I get people sent to somebody else.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest, recently, Jerry Can Cosplay did a Klingon knife. And I've been seriously thinking about, do I want to make a Klingon knife? That way, I've always wanted to make that particular Star Trek 3 Klingon knife. That could be a lot of fun. And I don't think I would be squashing Jerry, because like now, I'd 100% go, if you want to see someone who made this by hand, cutting it out, then Jerry's your guy.
You could also
I'm going to use a laser
tutorial and then say, but this is how Odin makes.
Right.
And here's the link to do it.
Yeah, I could do that. I think I would probably make mine from scratch specifically. Actually, I've done some looking at it. I just haven't done it. But I would 100% laser cut everything, because that's the way I want to do it.
Tell me
and
about
so
it.
I would have
I'm so
a
spoiled with the
looking,
laser cutter because it's clean. It just
it's clean, and it would be a different looking prop. It would be the same prop, but it would be different looking. And so yeah, I think that'd be. But if you want to see the
but it's done already.
Tang, I think, knife, the kill one of the hostages. I don't care which. You Klingon bastard, you killed my son. That knife. Then Jerry Can Cosplay. He's in the chat right now. Go click on his little icon. It'll take you to his YouTube channel, and I believe it's still his most recent video. And it's actually a pretty cool little video. And one of the things I like about Jerry's channel is the way he edits, presents his videos. Is you're hanging out with Jerry, and it's pretty cool. That's the feel that I get from them.
Nice. William Wells, have you thought about doing Fortnite props? Didn't you do a Fortnite prop?
I did. Yeah, I've done one so far, which is hanging up over here. I can actually reach it. Biggest problem with Fortnite props is the majority of them are guns. Guns and YouTube do not get along. But a pickaxe, that's okay. So this is the close shave pickaxe from Fortnite from 2018, 2019, whenever it was when TikTok became the new thing, right? When they were starting to really come back and not be the lip sync program they used to be. I got a, I think it was the last thing that the agency I was working with, the what do you call it, sponsorship they got me, was to make 12 videos on TikTok. And so, yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ralph Mork says lots of copper and brass and dark wood.
Yes.
Steampunk.
Proton.
Pack.
Yep, absolutely.
Agreed. It's more of an aesthetic.
Yeah,
right?
it is. Very doable.
Um.
If you don't mind, I'm going to pop these outside and spray them.
Okay.
Okay.
Louis Cossey has a question for you.
Oh, sure.
If
I'll stop.
Ever done? You can answer it on your way out. If you've ever done a motorized, wait, where is it?
Mechanical tail build?
Yeah. And technically, yes, but you didn't build it from scratch.
Right. Technically, yes, because the Catra tail was a mechanical tail.
Yep.
But that was cause tail.
But we put together a cause tail as the electrical.
Yeah.
So we had a kit that we used, and we decorated. So not from scratch.
No.
But from a kit, and it worked out very well.
One of the things that I've seen that, of course, I watch a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. If you go and look for the old behind-the-scenes for Tremors, I'm not just bringing it because it's Tremors, but it works out well that way. There's the tentacles that come out of the worm's mouth, and they actually break down how those tentacles were puppeteered using cable. And a wood skeleton. And honestly, the cause tail is built much the same way. You end up having a series of wooden discs that are, or they could be whatever shape. They don't have to be round. I've seen
people make them out of paper towel, not paper towel tubes, but toilet paper tubes. How they kind of joint them and then use the strings to pull them back. And
exactly. And so you end up with like 4 strings running down for Tremors. They had 4 strings running down the sides, like noon, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock positions, and then that was set up to a large lever that they could lean in one way or another. And what it would do is it would create tension on one side that would pull it this way, and release tension on the other side that would allow it to move out that way. That way, it would kind of hold itself in space because you got tension on basically all 4 sides, because the top and bottom would have tension as well. And then this lever had a couple of smaller levers off the top of it, so they could kind of bend all of them, or they had independent people, one for each layer, because you'd go out about 3 feet, Tentacle, right. Tail, you only need to do it once. And so as you stretch and move each one, you could get it to curl all the way around because you've got segments that can curve 90 degrees. Yeah. Yep. And that was how they did. That's how they did the tentacles for the blob. That's how they did, that's just the way they do the giant octopus tentacles.
But it gives a very good structure to a tail.
Yeah. Cause tail, the same thing. The 3 o'clock and the 9 o'clock position strings were static on the cause tail. That doesn't move. They're just there for tension.
Shape.
And to keep it from wobbling the wrong way. The noon one was attached to a motor, and that probably put slack to the 6 o'clock one, so the tail could be picked up a little bit or laid down a little bit. So it moved a little bit, I think, or it moved a little bit this way. Maybe I'm thinking the wrong way. But that was all the movement it had. It had movement in one direction, and the other set of strings were static to just give it tension. Mm-hmm. Yep. But of course, it was still bobbed. It would still move and such, which is fine.
It still
it's a
wiggled
tail.
with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I got you distracted. You're supposed to spray paint those, but I was like, get that one while I was still thinking it.
You mean those things with their tongues? Damn it, Val! Thank you for quoting Trevor's.
Hey, big-headed Gundams are a thing.
Yes, they are.
The SD Super Deformed line are pretty much chibi versions, so bobble-headed Gundam cosplays are fine. Good to know that in universe you can have a big head and be a Gundam. That sounds so funny. And Bernie Davis, variety is the spice of life. I guess so. It can be. Austin Lips, hey Odin and Felicia, how's your day today and what are you gluing? Day is going very well today, and he is gluing these pipes that we had originally made to slide up into the Proton Pack with the holes with the lights. We cut them off, made new ones, and instead of having them screwed together, they're glued together. And then those are getting glued, instead of getting shoved up into the Proton Packs, we cut this part off, and we are gluing those up into the Proton Packs. He made a glue plug, a foam plug to go inside the ends, and can go into both the Proton Pack and the tube to hold them together. And then he sealed it with super glue so that it'll spray paint black and look clean on both sides. See how it looks when it comes back? But that's what we're gluing, is this piece, but chopped, sawed off, and glued together, because, yeah. Anyways, when he gets back, we can look at it. Awesome Lips, hey, Odin, yeah, that's the one I just read. So, Louis Cossey, Odin, have you ever done a mechanical build drill? Yes, we did. Odin should move on to Gizmo Duck.
Gizmo Duck would be cool.
We do have those one wheels now, so that cosplay is now.
That cosplay is totally doable with the one wheel. Yeah.
Right.
I can't, but yeah.
I could.
You could.
One of those things that I want to do is that Barbie I had when I was a kid that had that you could remote control make her dance in the twirly skirt.
Oh, interesting.
And I have one of those hoverboards.
Uh-huh.
And so I love going on that in twirly skirts and just.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's not a cosplay, but I feel like it could be a cosplay.
No, it could totally be a cosplay, yeah.
Yeah. I feel it. Gizmo Duck sounds like a fun one. Except for he doesn't have a twirly skirt, but it's okay.
He could. Yeah.
Ryan Echivera says, Odin's back! Ad Vixen says, a knife and a Worf Baldric sash, and nobody is going to complain.
Yep.
PJC 2.0 says, are Proton Packs also done, Odin? Are the Proton Packs also
done? No, we're getting there. We're working on it.
Our goal is by SAC Anime.
Yeah. I just took the parts outside to paint them so we can actually glue them into the packs later in the show, hopefully, and then get going.
Right. William Wells says it'd be cool if Forge in Fire makes Klingon knife. So
yeah,
that's a YouTube channel.
Yes, it would be cool if Forged in Fire or Man at Arms would make Klingon knives. Yeah. I think Man at Arms have made some. I think they made a batleth, I'm pretty sure.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And then Oculus Orbis says I've only ever seen ST3 on TV, and for years didn't realize they were edited since they got shown around lunchtime. Took me till ST6 to realize as that was the first time I saw it in cinema.
So I only saw Star Trek 3 on TV and didn't realize they were edited. Yep. I could see especially portions of Star Trek 3 being edited for TV.
Yeah.
And there's portions of Star Trek 2 that was edited for TV. Like there were
everything that was on TV, if you saw it on TV, was edited for TV.
Yeah, everything was, aside from just the pan and scan of the TV ratio. But like theatrically, Star Trek 2 had close-ups of the SETI eels crawling into the ears, where that was all implied on TV because it was a plot point. You had to have it, but you didn't need to show the close-up. But then they had to fill in a certain amount of time in order for the movie to play out. So there were scenes for Star Trek 2 on the network version that weren't in the theatrical.
Yeah. Believe it or not, I saw them all on VHS before I saw them on TV.
Yeah,
so
I believe that.
That's the version I've seen. Bean's down there.
Yeah, Bean came out here. He opened the door and came out here.
Yeah, he's coming to keep us company. And then Mick Ultra wants to know, have you ever abandoned a project?
Oh, all the time.
All the time.
All the time. I will abandon a project because I've come across something that is financially or in unaccomplishable for me that I didn't realize was there to begin with, or I get so disgusted with it I just can't come back to it. I rarely abandon a project for an Odin Makes video. I try my best to pick something that I'm going to finish to begin with.
Right.
I technically have abandoned projects.
If I get paid for projects, most of those projects I've never abandoned.
Yeah.
If I haven't gotten paid.
Right.
It's easy to.
It's real easy if you're not getting paid. Yeah.
Yeah, it's real easy if you're not getting paid.
I've got videos that haven't been finished, so they're technically abandoned because they haven't been finished. They're in never edit land. Yeah. Like 4 of them, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Often never edit land.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I'm very good at abandoning projects, but I'm also really good at finishing projects too.
Yeah.
Because I don't buy projects unless I know I'm going to do them.
Yeah.
Like I don't buy clothes to alter them.
Right. And I used to when I was younger. I was super excited about any kind of project, and I would hoard projects, when I was way younger. And there's a point in time when I learned that I'm only going to take on a project if I think I can actually do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even if it's going to push what I know, if I can actually do it, then I would start. And that helped with cutting down on the hoarding. But I'm still really bad at it. This garage is full.
Right. I consistently get rid of all my scrap fabric, and then I turn around and I'm like, how do I have another cabinet full of fabric?
Right. Well, I've sort of done that, and almost always it's like, but I had that. Now I'm trying to find it again, but I had it. And so, yeah. And then there's almost, crafting on a micro budget. It becomes
Maker's
story.
gonna make, and then when you're crafting on a micro budget, everything's valuable.
Yeah, everything's valuable. And I'm realizing also now as I'm getting a little bit older, I don't have that issue like I used to. And
space is more valuable.
Space is more valuable, yeah. And so I need to go through a lot of these hoarded boxes and just
let it go.
Huck it. Let it go, exactly. Mm-hmm. There was a point in time that I was hoarding circles that I had cut out, because cutting out a circle was time consuming and not easy. With a laser, it's extremely easy to get exactly what I want. In fact, I just go cut what I want. I no longer dip into my circle bin.
That's okay. I can dip into his circle bin too.
You can take it home at this point. Because anymore I just go and make the exact pipe circle that I want. And I've got that now. So these guys,
right tool for the job makes it significantly easier.
I don't need to save them anymore.
Do that in front of Little Odin and see what he does.
You would time in and get them because those are connected circles. Those are cool. You could make a storage bill with those things. That's what I would make with those.
Exactly.
It's 1:00. Do we want to play with mail at all?
Let's do it, because I am completely unproductive, but I am.
I'm sorry.
I am reading comments. It's okay.
I appreciate that. We will make sure that your side project gets accomplished before you leave, as long as you've got the time.
Yeah, we do gotta just print it out and get some samples going, but.
So, video shoot, photo shoot, whatever it is, graphics that need to be put onto the basketball jersey that she had. Nothing any of you are going to recognize, nothing that any of you are going to know, because it is in pre-production. Realistically, we said as much as we're allowed to say because it's in pre-production, and this is a prototype. It may not even be the final product. But I've got an inkjet printer and she doesn't, so I'm trying to help her get those printed out. And the one that we printed out looked right on screen, but did not print out correctly.
Correct, right?
So I've got actual mail that was sent to me that I have not opened yet. So hopefully it doesn't have anthrax in it. And then I've got packaged stuff that came from Japan.
All right, careful. Your address is on the internet.
Oh, fair. Well, this is the P.O. box.
Oh, okay.
That's fine. I don't care.
But this person's address.
Yeah, this person's address. I don't want to. So this is from Charles Arsanis. So we just don't show a close up of these. And 2 of them came. So and both were mailed on the same day, the 12th of May. So they've been sitting a little bit. Or both were canceled on the same day anyway. And this is a good sized letter. I don't know if it's okay. Oh, okay. Cool. There's a little post-it note on that says, I wrote this article about you.
I like his puppets. I like his 2 dogs. The puppy is named Bowser. The dog is the mouse detective. He catches crooks. I like his clothes and his assistants.
Yeah.
There are 2 of them on there. 1 man and 1 woman. They talk so fast. They help him him a lot with his projects. He makes a lot of projects and works hard. He makes the Infinity Gauntlet and Iron Man Gauntlet. He makes swords and Hellboy's guns. The real gun is in London in a museum, and that's what he says. He can't touch that gun because it's guarded. I saw it. It's beautiful. He makes masks. I like droid masks from Star Wars, Return of the Jedi. He also makes the Matrix from Transformers, the movie. It's a ball you pull apart like magic, and I want to send this article to him. I hope he likes it. He always reads his mail in his videos and starts laughing. I like watching his videos at home.
Nice. And then also wrote an article about Lucille Ball. So the fact that I'm on the same page article with Lucille Ball is pretty cool.
Right?
And Lucille Ball isn't just I Love Lucy. I mean, that is the biggest thing you know Lucille Ball for. You know something else that Lucille Ball was the only person who put trust in, the only person who put money in to bring out so we could all watch it? Star Trek. Desilu Studios was Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz, and that was their studio that did the original Star Trek series. So they were the ones that were like, oh, this is a great idea. Let's make TV about this.
She's also part of the reason we have Taco Bell today, so...
There you go. Yeah, that one I didn't know.
Queen.
Okay, yeah, Queen. Absolutely. Lucy's great.
Right?
Nature Park, North Park Nature Center. This is cool. There's a whole little, Unlimited Voices, Volume 105. Awesome, Charles. Thank you. Little article about Earth Day, and this is cool. Well, thank you. This is very, very cool.
You're famous.
Famous.
Reflections and stories from the members of Envision Unlimited. Nice. And there's your article.
There's the article on the back page. Yeah, that's cool. Thank you, Charles.
Sorry we don't have a mail song like Blue's Clues.
Right. So that was actual legitimate mail sent in. The other things are stuff that I've got a bag of stuff that Dan Does Junk brought to me from his trip to Japan, as well as a book that I actually ordered it finally from Japan. So one I got for myself. So I'll bring that one out first. And then the other one's a gift bag from Dan.
Okay.
So the book, I remember seeing this all the time making Mechagodzilla. Because it was from the Godzilla store, and it was specifically a picture book about the 1974 Mechagodzilla, right? So this is
Do you want a camera 4?
Oh, wow, that is really close. Yeah, camera 4. Glare. It's nice and shiny.
This doesn't look too bad on camera.
That's good. So what I always saw with this on the inside was the same, 6 pictures.
Interesting. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
Now that seeing this up close, I do like how we did those.
You like how you did those?
I like how we did those, but I like how they did them too. But it was definitely a different approach.
Mm-hmm.
You think that they probably glued it to the cardboard underneath the fabric?
Probably.
Not cardboard necessarily, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Reference images.
Good reference images. So what we have? Is this
Should
gonna
we
be
go
too
back?
close? No, you're fine.
Okay.
Is that too close?
Yes.
Yeah.
But look at those arms, shoulders. Look at those shoulders.
Glare.
Overthought about those for a little too much.
Yeah, definitely overthought these. But on the inside,
Roar.
face. There's like this picture of the artist. Yeah, go ahead. Here, I'll zoom back out.
Because then you might as well be on
Sorry.
camera 3.
Yeah. Whoop. I went one too many.
Click,
There we
click.
are.
There you go.
Double click to get close. So so yeah, and you got but as you open up the book, you got a couple of movie stills, but these are, and they may not be movie stills. These could be because the grain on these are really good. So these could be production stills, made to be photographs, maybe during the actual production. And there's a strap here that isn't, I don't see anywhere else. Probably a repair.
It looks practical. It looks like a practical strap and not a design strap.
So sorry this is blowing out, hard to see, but if you go maybe to camera 3.
3.
As Bean spelunks.
Oh, he found my bag with my steamer stuff in it.
Oh, okay.
He's going to make it a bed.
Yeah, he was. Of course he will. This little paragraph is the entirety of the writing in the book. And it's both in Japanese and in English. And according to Google Translate, it is like word for word exactly the same, which is kind of cool. That's it. Every other page is usually a good picture, and they're not all the same pictures I've seen. Go ahead and go back to 4.
Are you sad you didn't have this when you were...
Yes. Because what's on the next page? Excellent close-ups of the heads.
And you could count those rivets and know what size they were and scale them up with these images.
Something I think I might have noticed, but I didn't do when I was building it, and you can absolutely see it with this disembodied head on the table. The neck rings are not the same size.
Yeah,
if you go to 3, they're pie-shaped. It's like pinched in the front and then full size in the back in order to help the head be pitched forward, right? Because mine are equal all the way around, so he's very looking straight ahead. He is not looking down. And the other thing with this that you can kind of see here, and on the other picture you can see a little bit better, initially his teeth were clear acrylic. This I never saw in the film.
Right?
This never came across in the film. And if I flip in the book towards the back where there's production images of the end of the movie, after the suit's been repainted for repairs, they've painted the teeth silver. So when he gets his close-up is at the end of the film when Godzilla is ripping his head off, because he does, his teeth are silver, so mine are silver. But initially, with this fiberglass head they made for the movie, the teeth were clear acrylic. So, going back to 4, this whole book is just full of awesome stuff like that. There's not a lot of making of, but
they're really good reference images.
Fantastic reference images.
Just looking at the jointing.
Yeah, look at the joint. And this is after they've been using it. Look how wrinkled it is.
And that's how yours is starting to look now.
Yeah. So the more I beat mine up, the more accurate it is, right?
Exactly. The more texture.
The knees are way bigger than my knees.
You could have gone bigger.
I could have gone much bigger.
And you were very scaling it back just because
Yeah,
you were
I was
worried.
making it tight to fit me, and I didn't have to. This is considerably sloppy bigger. He's got baggy pants.
Do you have that?
I've got the MG logo, yeah.
Okay.
And then the chest is pushed out further than on mine. Mine, it's all very straight down the neck.
I feel like that's a piece added on top because
it's exactly what I thought.
Yeah.
The door opens up on the suit, and there's like a electric laser beam that comes out of it, or electric bolt. And I'm thinking that was an afterthought. That, we should do this, and so they added it on. Because that's very much what it looks like. But yeah,
look at you! Even have the skirt shot.
Right.
Look at how they did it. It's not a point.
Right.
We've had to solve these issues without reference images.
Without reference images. And now I've got tons and tons. There's images of the flying model, which is a totally different build. And this is, according to the book, this is only 3 feet long. It's not full size.
Why build it full size if it doesn't have to be?
It doesn't have to be. He was flying. He should, look like he's further away. But yeah, you just go on.
Scales models. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Not that existed before.
Well, Star Trek was before this, but still, scale models. I think I'll skip the page. But I had no idea. Yeah, you're a broken ear with regular wiring,
Yeah.
because that's not in the movie. This is prepping something up. Yeah, I was afraid to order this book because it was always there's a great picture of the crew. I don't know how well you could see all that because it's far away, but
Camera 3.
camera 3, sure. But yeah, I really, really like the book a lot. But all the reference images I saw of these books on eBay and everywhere else, it was always a $40 book, and it always showed the same 4 pictures that I already had. So it was never worth getting. They're $8 from the Godzilla store in Japan. Shipping makes them a little more, but they're $8. So it's like, yep, I'll get one. So I got one. So there is mild interest in 2.0. There is mild interest in 1.5, one of those things.
Well, you already have the natural texture of the aged phone.
I do, yeah. And there's so many things with this specifically I'm seeing that I didn't notice or didn't do.
And nobody notices or cares.
Right, no one does but me.
Right, but it's for you.
Yeah.
It's for your happiness and enjoyment, and now you can dream about it and upgrading.
Exactly.
Because you can make it better.
His neck is way thicker than my neck on my costume. So there's more space for the head.
And you were worried about your head.
I was worried about it being too. Yeah, no, all sorts of the sleeves are bigger. The whole forearm is made out of a much softer material that wrinkles. In fact, the other thing that was fun reading this, because it talks about the suit is split up and down, so meaning the top half and the bottom half is split. And there were 2 fiberglass reinforced plastic heads that were manufactured, one for close-ups and one for action scenes. And then the wrist pieces were fiberglass. But the rest of it is a polyethylene mat. The rest of it's camping mat.
You were not far off in doing it from foam. Do you feel validated?
Yes, I do. I was never afraid of that. I figured it was like wetsuit material or something else, neoprene, something like that. I figured that's what it was. It was something available in 73, 74, but no, it was just really cool having the book and having those close-ups. And now I want to order more of the Godzilla books from the Godzilla store.
Right.
And they got here pretty quick. It only took them about 2 weeks.
Right. Smelly Feet says, hi from the UK. It's my birthday.
Happy birthday, Smelly Feet. Yeah, Dan does junk. Odin, just say, hey, they showcased my cosplay in this book.
Right? People will believe you.
So Dan just had a vacation in Japan. Absolutely loved it. I don't know if Dan will do a live stream about his Japanese or a video about his Japanese travels. He should. He had awesome things to say that I didn't know about, but I don't want to retell Dan's stories exactly because I'll get details wrong. But one of the things he really enjoyed was that there's Toys R Us in Japan still. In fact, there's a lot of pictures and stories on the Odin Makes Discord. So if you want to hear more about Dan Does Jokes Travels to Japan, then please check out patreon.com/Odin Makes and join at the Discord level, where you'll get access to the Odin Makes Discord, which will include all sorts of stories about Dan's trip to Japan. Usually we try to game once a week, which is more like once every 1 to 3 weeks now. You'll have access to me and Felicia and Shopbro to be able to talk and chat. So yeah. Odin Makes Discord, a nice little private Discord where everybody supports each other and we try to help each other build shit.
Right.
So Dan brought some toys. He brought some, he got Sakura chocolate cookie, which are some cherry blossom cookies.
Ooh.
Yes. Yeah, he got a capsule toy for the Pokemon store, so it's the new one of the new grass type starters.
Is it holding a little fruit?
Yeah, I think it's holding a little berry of some sort. I can't remember what it's called. This is from the newest Violet and Scarlet Pokemon video games. But I don't remember which berry.
Camera 3?
Sure. Make sure that's out of the way. Try not to use up the entirety of the remainder of the stream on this. Does this tell me? Is this?
That was my text message. I got one.
Not that I can read. But don't eat it, Pac-Man. That's okay. I don't have all the names memorized, but somebody else has already recognized it and is saying it in the chat. But yeah. Oh, well, yeah, it's still a berry. It's some sort. But it's the grass starter cat that turns into a really kick-ass...
Looks like a pear to me.
Could be a pear.
Alright, one.
Yeah.
Or which one?
I'm just handing it to you.
Oh, okay. So I can see it.
Yeah, trying to share.
Oh, thank you.
Because I know capsule toys are big.
It was made in China.
Everything is. It's okay.
Hi, Bean.
And then there was a couple of other capsule things because he also went to the Godzilla store.
That looks fun.
Yeah. So the bag is from the Godzilla store, which I think is cool. And it's got the original Godzilla on it and the oxygen destroyer on the side.
You have a card in there, too.
There's a card in there. There's going to be a Godzilla card game coming out. So this is an advert for the Godzilla card game, whatever it is, for the 70th anniversary.
Nice.
But yeah, we've got some Transformers and a mystery, presumably Godzilla, because that's the texture, capsule toy. That's the one I want. I try to use those only for fabric.
Smart. I don't. I use them for threads.
Well, that's fine. To me, sort of the same thing.
Ah! I put it and it went all the way through.
Oh, yeah, it'll do that.
I am not having an easy time with this at all. Okay, there you go, it's on. You opened it, now it's ruined.
It's ruined! I want to enjoy it.
Looks excellent.
It is excellent. Come here, open up. So they're, I don't know, they're little, looks like they're little Transformers.
They're little eggies.
Yeah. So there's a Godzilla one and Mega Godzilla. And
It's okay if I open it?
Yeah, you go ahead and open them up.
Click, click. I like how they click.
Oh, they do kind of click in place, don't they?
Now, where's the mechanism for... There we go. Remember, these from the Power Ranger choice.
Oh, okay, so it flips up from... Oh, then he's got
This
a little...
one comes from his tummy.
Comes out of his tummy? Okay. He flips up out of his back. Huh.
Well, now you can rip off his head. And then... Oh no, his head's gone!
It's gone! More Mechagodzilla toys. I remember going to Japantown in San Francisco with Mom and getting the little vinyl Godzilla figures. They came in like a clear vinyl bag. And it was one of the few like Godzilla toys I could get a hold of, and it seems so rare to get a hold of Godzilla toys. And at this point, I've done a cosplay of Mechagodzilla, and I get a lot of Godzilla gifts from my friends, which I'm not upset with at all. I've even got like basically a Mechagodzilla Squishmallow that Aria 51 got me. Yeah, I've got way more Mechagodzilla toys and books now than I've ever had. It's cool as hell.
I've got grown-up money, and I can buy grown-up toys. Makes sense to me. Excellent.
So this looks like it says 02. I don't know if that's, like I'd be able to tell if it's a number or...
Referencing a year or just
a year or something, yeah. Oh, hey, it's actually perforated up here. There we go.
Point your toes.
All right. Mystery Godzilla capsule. Oh! It's not Godzilla. Guess what's inside?
It's a Mechagodzilla.
It's Mechagodzilla. It's a Kiru Mechagodzilla. Cool. Right on. Are you sure you didn't pick this one out specifically, Dan?
2 legs, 2 pieces of tail. Hey, this Mechagodzilla looks mean in a good way.
Yeah, and he's got... oh, is that gonna... Oh, that's gonna cool. Is that gonna become a base?
Maybe.
Mind if I play new toys on stream? broken building pieces. Oh, there it is. It goes like that. Okay. Is there a front and a back? Doesn't matter. Well, there's instructions. I probably should look. Okay, no, that doesn't fit in there. It sure seems like it should.
Something's going on, right?
Yeah. I guess it's just a little stand for him.
This is just for vibes. Look at that. Destruction vibes.
Yeah. Destruction vibes gives him a sense of scale.
I think this is where you mount him to stand up.
The building goes on there. The broken building.
Okay, there
Oh,
you
it
go.
is keyed. Okay.
It looks like something should pop into there.
But I didn't want to put it on like the wrong way, but it's keyed, so it's only supposedly goes on one way.
There you go.
It's vinyl, so you could force it to be either way, but and out of the package, he's really silver.
Right? He looks almost really metallic.
Now, did you pop them together already?
No.
No,
He
that's-
came out of here
he
like
came
that.
out of like
There's
at
2
that
legs
level?
and 2 tail pieces.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Make sure you put the leg where the leg goes and not where the tail goes.
Fair enough. Yeah. And again, it's keyed. Now this is the one that Roger Hummons H2 cosplay. This is the version he made a cosplay of, and he's had it to SAC Anime.
Oh, fun. So you'll have 2 mechas.
Yeah.
Mech and a mess.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And there's his little building to smash. Rawr, smash.
Exactly that.
That's what he does. Camera 3?
Yes, please. I'll go ahead and let him lean back so he's better for the
Little
camera.
smashed building.
Little smashed building.
Look at
Looks
it,
like he's got
matches.
a
A platform.
platform, but his stance is a little big, and he does balance standing. But if you lean him back, he's you can see his body a little better with the angle of the camera because the camera's a little high. This is cool. Thank you, Dan. This is very cool. I appreciate that he was having fun and picking up weird little things that brought me back treats from Japan. That's very cool.
Right. Oops. There you go.
Did you want a cookie?
Kinda.
Kinda?
Try the chocolate.
There you
Because they
go.
don't look very chocolatey.
No, they don't, but
But I want to see what they taste. You know what I mean?
right.
White chocolate?
Don't know. I'm getting a big kick out of just how silver this guy is too.
Right? When you're trying to silver things.
It sure does seem like.
So fancy.
Oh, individually packaged. Nice.
I'm opening it.
Go ahead.
Oh, I already broke it. But they're pretty.
Oh, this is keyed too. Okay.
So do they pop into each other?
Yeah, I'm seeing if it goes together
Let me just
inverted,
squish it back together.
and it does. And does it
little
support it?
cookie.
And it does. So I'm wondering if that, with this inside of it, would make a base. So it gives him like a base to stand on. It's like a Godzilla versus Pokemon.
Kind of reminds me of eating raw cookie dough.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Does it taste
It tastes
chocolate?
like I made a spritz cookie and didn't bake it.
Oh yeah, it's got that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not baked.
Mm-hmm.
Like it literally, I can mush it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. It reminds me of those spritz cookies, you know, the ones you smoosh out.
Okay. Yeah, it's cookie dough.
Giving cookie dough vibes.
Hmm. They're good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can tell they're good because we're getting quiet.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
This is cool. Yeah, Dan came by yesterday to visit and to help me with my truck a little bit. Actually, a lot. And brought this over, so looked at it with him here.
Thank you,
but
Dan.
I actually get to look at it. Yeah. Thank you, Dan.
All right, I'll catch up on all these
Yeah,
comments,
please do.
'cause I have been ignoring it since we started mail. All right, let's see.
I'm sorry that some days mail goes long.
It's okay.
Oh, those are good.
Num num num. Right. All right.
Come on, Bean, let's go back inside. It's been over half an hour. I'm gonna go grab the pipes.
Okay, they should be dried now.
They should be.
All right, let's see. Let's catch up on some of these comments. I went way back. What is Odin making? A mess. No, I'm teasing. William Wells, hey guys. I've already read these ones. Oh, nice. Ace, I made it here. Just got home from a long weekend camping trip. Unpacking and listening. That sounds absolutely lovely. I just bought a little pop-up tent for the beach. Not for camping, though. If you post it unedited... Okay. I'm just trying to find my spot in these comments because we've gotten all around. Okay. The trash can made it under the desk. LOL. Yes, there's a new trash can right here. There used to be one. And then now there's one again. It's just, everything's more right in the world. Akshay J. Pedada, I can butcher anyone's name, says Happy Ghostbusters Day! Happy Ghostbusters Day! Happy Ghostbusters Day! And June 16th is Captain Picard Day. Thank you, William Wells. Happy Captain Picard Day coming up on June 16th. Mark your calendars. I'm catching up on all the comments.
Okay. Sorry, I ran off on you like a number of times this time.
That's okay. Did you know that June 16th is Captain Picard Day?
No, I did not know specifically June 16th was Captain Picard Day.
Did I just read the numbers wrong? Because now I lost the comment.
No, I'm not aware of any day around June like that being Captain.
June 17th, isn't that Father? No, it's 15th is Father's Day. I don't know.
I'm not aware of a Captain Picard Day, so.
Okay.
Oh, cool. Dan does. Sweet. I had no idea what was in there, and he's laughing. Yeah, it was Mechagodzilla. Perfect.
All right.
Yeah. The reading Dan's things. Well, he left out on the capsule. The Mechagodzilla is quite detailed. Oh, cool. Ralph says, I'm going to look up some Mecha STL files. Maybe I could mold and cast something in shiny aluminum. Oh, dude, that'd be awesome.
Right?
That'd be really cool. Castle machines are everywhere. Oh, there is a wow. Shock Gremlin gave the name of the cat, of the grass type cat for Pokemon, and I cannot say Sprigatito. I can't say it.
Okay.
Wait, the Godzilla store is a Capachapon machine? Yes, Mighty Guitar Mods. It does. Because, like Dan says, there's a ton of them there. James Allen's here. Hey, James. Austin Lewis is apologizing for bad stories. At SAC Anime Spring, this is going back in early April, because that happened on Easter. So, on Easter Day, there was more than one Easter bunny that walked through the con. One of them was a very faithful reproduction from some old English artwork of the spring bunny, right?
Oh, nice.
And that was giving out these metallic eggs with candy inside. If you would like it, you're welcome to it. Because it has rock candy in it, which
that
should
rocks.
be, yeah, it should be rock candy. But yeah, that's been on the kitchen counter for a couple of days. Like,
Totally
I
take
need
that.
to give this to Felicia.
I will take that.
Nice.
I actually really liked Easter bunnies at the costume shop.
Mm-hmm.
I would be in charge of repairing them, and a lot of Easter bunnies got punched in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Don't punch an Easter bunny in the face. The violence is never the answer. I'm just saying, like, because you could tell that there was always to the
Yeah.
you know, like, but
Yeah.
I got really good at welding plastics.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind. So early Steven Spielberg movie, right? He did Jaws, and then Close Encounters came out. He was making at the same time Lucas was making Star Wars. At the end of the film, you got the little, they're not gray aliens, you get the little aliens that come out of the spaceship and mingle with the human crowd. In order to have these really thin little aliens running around, it was a bunch of ballerina trained girls. There was a bunch of young girls who knew how to, walk a little bit differently, right? The first rehearsals they did, they had boys and girls, but they learned very quickly that the boys were more interested in punching each other in the face than doing what they needed to do, and the girls were respectful for the costumes. So I'm sure that follows through to the Easter Bunny, that the little boys want to punch the Easter Bunny in the face because testosterone's a poison.
I would say that, except for, in all reality, I had an Easter Bunny come to my college graduation party.
And you punched it in the face?
No.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Because there were kids there, and the kid's mother is the one who put on the Easter Bunny costume and was terrorizing her own children.
Oh.
So, like...
Well, yeah, she probably thought it was fun to see her own kids scream.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm going to terrorize my kid for my own amusement.
Exactly. But I did like that Easter Bunny because it was fuchsia.
Monster? Sorry.
That's okay.
What were you saying?
No, I was just thinking about it. I was like, oh, interesting.
Yeah.
But I like the Easter Bunny costumes. My favorite one we had was the fuchsia Easter Bunny.
Fuchsia, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a lot of white Easter Bunnies, but my favorite one was the fuchsia one.
Okay.
I don't know. I have opinions on these things.
That's fine. The one they gave us was a white one. Very realistic-ish. I probably have a picture of this guy. Very realistic head. A lot of yellow, rain boots, flowers, spring flowers.
Felt like Peter Rabbit, or?
Yeah, felt very Peter Rabbit, but wasn't. I didn't think it was Peter Rabbit.
Yeah. Flopsy Mopsy or Cottontail.
Yeah. Well, oh, okay. There we go.
What? Oh, wow, that one is very impressive.
And what's funny is I remember the white, but he's not. He's just got a little bit of white.
Yeah. When you described him, I'm like, was picturing a brown bunny, but then you said a white bunny, and I was like, oh, okay.
I guess it's just white accents. But just all the...
Camera 3?
Yeah. There's just all the accents on the suit. All this detailed work in the suit is really cool.
And a secret for Easter bunnies is if you put them in a cool suit, it's way cooler than wearing a fursuit. And
right?
You don't have to wear it over a layer of fur. You can just have the head and the hands pop out. I had somebody who needed to dress up for a circus theme, and they ended up doing bears, but they did like a ringleader bear. So he wore a ringleader jacket and the outfit. So all he had to have was the bear head and hands. And so if you want to do like a fur body suit but don't want the fur body, wear clothes.
Okay. Absolutely. And I think in the fur community that's called poodling, when you're just going to have the head, hands, and feet, and the rest is human clothes.
Oh.
For
no
actual
idea.
fursuits. Yeah, so that is a legitimate thing with a term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tubi Rock says, sorry for the spam, but I wanted to thank you through this live stream for all your support with my projects.
Nice, Tubi Rock 5. No problem.
And Moon Eye said, belated visit, but I made it before the end.
Sweet. Hello, Moon Eyes.
We still have some time. We're
Yes, we
getting
do.
towards the end.
I need to... Okay, so at this point, I've got 2 tubes done in black. There's a little bit of misting weirdness on one of them, or is that just outside? Yeah, there it is. So we'll just make sure that side goes towards... Oh, actually it does, because they're keyed. That side goes towards the middle. So I'm going to try and glue together one of these and get one done.
Okay.
Because there's not enough time to do 2.
Okay.
I'm sorry that your side quest really hasn't happened yet.
It's okay. I still have to print it out. It's going to happen.
Right. It's one of those things that, yeah, I'll just give you the printer and you can do it. And then I realized, oh, my computer isn't working the way we want it to. It's going to require more of my attention. I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not like you're not capable.
Yeah. But we're live and the stream is up and all the things. And yeah. And it's running off the computer I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good.
I like how it makes contact with the motherboard, so I can glue it in here, and it's going to be able to have some support from the motherboard, so it's not going to be free floating and bendy. Yeah.
And wiggly.
And wiggly.
So which adhesive are you going to use? I'm
just going to use super glue. Honestly, if I had done this, I was thinking about doing this a couple of days ago and just having it done and showing pictures. I'm glad I didn't. But and if I had, I probably would have used 5-minute epoxy. But at this point, super glue.
Should work.
Yep.
really like that tool, don't you? It's
Yes.
a very convenient one, isn't it?
Yes, I am not a fan of sanding. I do not like sanding. So if I have a mechanical assistant with sanding, very happy. All I wanted to do was scratch it up. So what I want to do is put a lot of glue in the sides. I don't know if this will reach the bottom or not, but in case it does, I'll put glue on there. And then I want to put glue on the wood so we can touch the foam.
All right, don't put any glue on you.
Too late, but that's okay. I'll just be picking that off.
One with the project.
Yep. Most of the super glue will be off tomorrow.
Iana lists here saying, so I'm
Awesome.
late. I'm working on some art. Glad I was able to make it.
Yes.
And are you going to solder?
Solder. There's no plans for soldering at the moment. We will probably end up soldering something on this pack when the electronics happen, but I think it's all kind of pre-done, isn't it?
We already did that.
Yeah.
Like, was the lights, and they're already attached.
Right.
And
then I think we got new lights, so we don't have to use the ones that we did.
Yeah. So I don't think we need to.
Okay.
And we're putting the little speaker in there, and it doesn't need to get
right
wired up or anything.
So we need to order a couple of bitty boomers.
Yeah. Well, you have one.
We have one. That's true. I'm
Yeah.
going to go ahead and let this be a little sloppy. Separating the motherboard from the tube a little bit to get glue between it.
And now smoosh it together. Hey,
And now
look,
smoosh
it's
together.
attached.
Yeah, it's attached and touching. With the fan blowing towards me, I'm downwind of the aerosol. Remember, kids, breathe deep. And I touched it. I've got it on my finger.
And that is how Odin makes.
Yeah.
Safety third.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put my safety glasses
You know,
on.
if anything, I pushed it a little too far.
Oh no, it popped off.
Yeah, it did. Oh yeah, that's very hot.
Is it melting it? It's
No.
definitely making, you can see it.
Yeah, no, it's not melting it. What it is the accelerant, because the glue was on so heavy, the accelerant caused the surface to cure, and the stuff underneath it hadn't cured yet.
So there's
And
not
I moved
exposed. Did it create a,
Skin.
yeah.
I just kind of looked at it and went, that's kind of bent in a little bit. Yeah, I think it's just going to be bent in a little. Because I think the actual packs are bent out a little, but oh well. This isn't the only thing that's going to be wrong on the pack.
Is it wrong? What's wrong with it?
Well, there's probably nothing wrong with it. That's fine. So I've got a red and blue wire that comes off of the ends of these tubes with boots on them and goes over the bumper and into this caution hot box.
Okay.
So I need to put a couple of receiver holes in the caution hot box, and then that's what this red tube is for. I didn't realize how long it was. And then I'll need a piece of blue tube, or the one that fell. One of the
Oh,
two.
okay. Was it blue tube that fell?
No,
No,
it's the other painted red tube.
Oh, okay.
Because this has now had an extra 2 weeks to dry.
Bernie Davis says it gives it character.
There you go. Thank you, Bernie.
Ad Vixen says, so besides Hellboy and Catra, what other demi creatures would y'all cosplay?
Catcher?
Catra.
Oh, Catra. Okay. Any of them.
I don't know. Depends on. I don't know. I've done so many costumes.
Right.
I worked at a costume shop. Like, yeah.
Demi creatures. I mean, does Mechagodzilla count as a demi creature, or is he a maxi creature? I know it's demi-human or whatever, or demi-god could be the other one, but
Right? I don't know.
we talked about doing barf. I mean, yeah, no, whatever,
We'll see.
whatever catches fancy, basically.
Right?
Yeah,
I don't know. It's what's coming out.
right.
What's relevant at the moment? What am I excited about? I don't know. Where am I going? What am I doing? That's
Yeah, I don't know.
determining. Yeah.
Something about hell in a handbasket. I think that's what I'm doing.
Mhm.
That's where I'm going.
Do Mario's tail. The raccoon.
The Panucci or Tanucci or whatever. Yes. Tanuki. That's what it is, right?
Tanuki. Okay. What are you looking up?
Trying to find Bill Murray's Ghostbusters Hero Pack.
Reference images.
Reference images. Red is forward, or ventral and dorsal, and blue is, I don't remember the terms right now. I almost do, but don't quite.
Palmer. No, that's on gloves. We have the dorsal side and the palmar side, but it's the pro.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's dorsal and ventral, right, or something like that.
Yeah.
So there we are. So I've got pictures here of looking at the Caution Hot box, and the boots are slightly different size. The red's forward, the blue is back, and I believe those match going up to, I can see the blue in the back there, match going up to the collection tubes.
And they have the little,
they have
that stuff
the
on
corrugated
it.
on it, yeah.
Okay. All right, let's figure out what length they need to be.
Yeah.
And then how we're going to Pokemon.
Sprigatio, something like that.
Hey,
Then we're almost done. We still have a few more tubes to put on. What? Really? Shadowlands Radio? Nice. Nice. Shadowlands just posted today's video as well as Wednesday's. Somewhat new to doing scheduled uploads. Tough to do, but if you can stick to it, that's
congratulations. That's awesome. All right. I see. All right, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. And you smoosh it, and you smoosh it, and then you smoosh it.
You gotta smoosh it.
Well, cut that to the length that it needs to go, I guess.
Oops, there it is. The mouse moved and it just happened to hide everything.
Dorsal upper or back part, ventral, lower, or front. Moon Eye's nose.
Okay. So for the fun of it, I'll just cut this one to about this long.
Okay.
I'm on the wrong end of the
No worries,
here.
I get it. I 100% get it.
This is about 10 inches, so.
Yeah, that'll be right about. It's a little big.
Yeah, well, this is hollow, so I figured
So
extra
you can
just shove it in there.
Yep.
And then it's not going to be easy because this is a tight fit.
Yep.
So as I I'll just do this,
hold.
then I kind of realized, that actually might not be as easy as I think.
How long do you want this? Because I was thinking about that long, or is that too long? It needs to fit in there, so probably.
If you look at the picture, one's probably 2 to 3 fingers long, and the other one is.
My fingers, your fingers.
Yeah, I was looking at your fingers. So make one like 3 fingers and one 2 fingers because they're different. The blue one's longer than the red one.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna use this evil little tool that I love. Nope, that does not cut this. It just
doesn't?
smooshes it.
Oh,
I just bent it.
that's a bummer.
That's okay.
So I'm using the hole drill from Cos Tools, which is the wrong size but should work because I'm rushing.
You don't have to.
Not too worried. So the hole drill evenly cuts a cylinder, but it doesn't cut, it doesn't get the bottom out of it. So I'm just twisting it, and then I can pull out whatever's...
The plugs.
The plugs.
The plugs. Red is bigger, blue is bigger.
Blue is bigger on the bottom. I think red is bigger on the top. So we're going to need actually 2 sets. And the one at the top, make it like 1 finger, 2 finger.
Okay. Red.
Okay. Sorry, making it all complicated, but this is what I saw, without doing super detailed work on it. So 24 to about 34. Can I have the really cool tool?
Yep. It works for you.
Well, here, you want to do it? It works on the tube.
No,
It's
no,
made for
that's
this.
what I was saying.
Oh, okay.
It works for you, not being.
Yeah, it should be a very tight fit. Yeah, like that.
And now it's old.
Yeah, then same thing for that one.
This tube's a little tighter.
It's tight, yeah.
It's okay, we can split it if we have to.
Yep. Yes, it can, because they are actually split.
And then you smoosh it, and then you smoosh it. and you smoosh it.
Yes, you do. So in upcoming live streams, I still need to 3D print another one of these resistor parts, and there's all the details that still go on on this grain silo. There's a yellow tube and a couple of the little pieces that are missing, and then I think most of the greebles are done.
Greebles! I'm so glad.
Yeah, me too.
Right? They're coming along. Okay, that side smooshed.
Thank you.
And then...
Yeah, Moon Eye says, as an example, the dorsal fin of a shark or a whale is the fin on the back of the animal, which is also the upper part, and is the fin sticking out of the water. That part I always remember, because I remember dorsal fin of a shark. It's ventral, or it's not ventricle, it's ventral, right? That's the one that messes with my head because it's not as common for me to think about.
Medical sewing, they don't use front, back, center, front, left, right. They use dorsal, they use ventricle, they use palmar side.
Medical? Yes.
Like,
well, it's important.
medical sewing versus...
Yeah. Well, that's also just how you reference the body. You know, where's the injury? Is it on this side? Is it on that side? How does it relate to...
Yep.
Yeah, no. And that's important because you need to find something and you need to have nomenclature that you can explain it to someone else and they know where it is. It's not just the right-hand side. Is that the right hand side when they're facing you? Is it their right hand side? You know.
Glue's a little tighter.
Glue's a little tighter.
Okay. It's okay. It means it's gonna hold better.
Yeah. That's fine. I don't think it needs to be tighter than that.
There you go.
Sweet.
I installed it.
We worked on the Proton Pack.
Sorry.
No, I don't care. I'm glad. I'm so sorry.
It's like I wasn't trying to take full credit. I was just like, yes, it's installed.
Okay, well, I wasn't trying to. No, I was
Yeah.
just amused that as I fiddled with things all day, you finally got to play the Proton Pack.
Right. There are times where I'm like, just let me do it, and then there's times where I'm like, you just do it.
I get it.
Yep. Okay, that's installed.
That's installed. Those tubes are installed. Yet another little thing that was hanging over my head. The thing that I had to do off camera. Yeah. That's done. Yeah, the other one needs to go together, but it's almost 2 now, so I'll just do that one next time. And then the other one they need to work on is the yellow tube, which goes on what Chris was calling the grain silo. It has a different name, but Lost Wax Oz was making up his own names, and
yep, we're just
those are the ones I remember.
His instructions, so might as well call it what he called it.
Yeah, pretty much. And then, I'll have to really look at what's left for details.
Because we're getting done.
Because
we need to get it attached to the Alice pack.
That's the big thing.
That's probably where I'm feeling the most insecure at the moment. Because you know how in a project where we were holding off on the greebles. Well, now the greebles are almost done.
Yep.
The electronics are almost all done.
Right.
Now what is it? We have to attach the
Alice
pack and attach the wands.
Yes.
So I think those are the greebles are the part that I'm worried about the most. Not greebles.
Those are the steps. The next steps.
The next steps I'm worried about the most is attaching it to the Alice pack. They have those really cool pop things, but where are they going to line up? That's the thing in the back of my head. How are we going to line these up?
How are we going to line these? Absolutely. Well, that's a future Odin problem that I'll be looking at over the next couple of live streams.
Yeah.
I'm still planning on live streaming every other week, and for the remainder of this month, I'm going to be solo.
Yeah, I'm not going to be here for the rest of this month. I have a lot on my plate.
All good.
So I will be back next month after this live stream.
I think it's amazing, and I really do appreciate, Felicia, that you do spend the time to come by and do the live streams with me, and that you kick the whole thing in the pants to get it started. And so I appreciate that. Here we are 5 years on, and you're still showing up and doing this.
Right?
Most appreciated.
Channel's still up.
Channel's still up. Yes, thank you. The channel's still alive because of the live streams.
Yeah.
So not a problem at all that you've got real life stuff that you need to go and do. But I'll still be here. So next week, actually, I get to play with the local Emmys again. We're going to be setting up here in Sacramento, which is going to be really fun because the same weekend Caltrans is closing Highway 50. At the spot where it connects.
When is that happening?
Next weekend. Like the 13th, 14th, and 15th, Highway 50 pretty much where it connects to 80, just before the bypass, the yellow bypass. Yeah, it's going to be closed down for the weekend. So everyone coming up from San Francisco to go to the Emmys is going to have to get off on Jefferson Boulevard and go surface streets.
Is that coming up?
What?
The Emmys?
Yeah, that's next week. It's okay. Oh,
My
no,
husband
it's
is-
this weekend. No, I got the date. Yeah, this weekend's the 13th. This upcoming weekend's Friday the 13th. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, this
Okay.
upcoming weekend.
Yeah.
And that'll be here in town, in Sacramento this year, at the convention center. And, like last year, Chaperone and I worked on the
Are you guys
statues.
going to go this?
We have not been invited to the full event, but at the
Okay.
moment I am actually getting paid to help them out to set up and show how the statues go together.
Oh, nice.
Which is cool. So even if this is the last time I get paid, that's fine. Here it is. It's not hard, guys. And when you break it, you're going to call me anyway.
I just think it's crazy that Javier gets invited to these events, and I have not gone yet.
It is in town this year. It is going to
Okay.
be on Saturday the 14th.
Yeah.
And it's
No.
at the Sacramento Convention Center. But you guys need to get there's a ticket for going because that covers the meal and everything else.
No, I know
Yeah.
that. Things are filled up. The schedule's filled up. The weekend I'm gonna be working, but it's
Right.
not gonna. The traffic's not gonna affect me because I don't have to freeway to work anymore, which is amazing.
That is amazing.
And also, yeah.
It's also in the evening, so I don't know if you might be off by then, depending on how late you work. But the Emmys shouldn't start till like 6 or 7.
No. I'm not gonna go to the Emmys. Like,
Oh, okay.
I know so many people who are invited, and I want to
Yeah.
go, but I haven't gone yet.
Right.
So many people.
It's
and
been
I
a lot of
don't-
fun to go the last couple of years. Thank you for your help with getting Shock Grumman dressed up for last year.
Yeah.
I would love it if we could go this year. I haven't really asked,
Right.
which is poor because I'm putting off to the last minute. But it was like,
You don't want to give them a chance to say no yet.
if it comes up during setup, it's like, yeah, we're gonna see you tomorrow, right? It's like, I don't know, am I invited? I don't have tickets, and I'm not gonna be able to. I'm not a member because I'm not I am, but I'm not.
Just
in
show
the
up with
industry.
your 4 Emmys and be like, yeah, I was invited.
Okay, right. Actually, they check your name if you're on the books when you get there. But it also depends on who's checking in, because if it's Joyce, I could probably just walk in. Because
Sure.
it's been Joyce in the past.
Right. I just want a reason to wear a fancy dress, to tell
Yeah.
you the honest truth.
Yeah. Yep.
That's the fun part.
It is the fun
It's
part.
getting dressed up.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Yes, I don't wear a fancy dress specifically, but I do get fancy dressed.
You could if you wanted.
I could if I wanted to. I don't own one, but I could if I wanted to.
Yes.
Yeah, no one's going to care.
Nope.
But yeah, so in 2 weeks we'll be back with live streaming, and I will get the other two put together and get the fiddly bits on here. And I guess I need to get the Alice packs painted because they're black, right? They're not, or are they green? Now I'm confusing
I
myself.
think they're both, and it depends on whose pack you're doing.
Gotcha.
And
If we're
also
doing
which...
it generically 84, then whatever generically 84
I
is.
think it's just if we spray paint them black, nobody's going to say anything.
Yeah, all right. I'll probably spray paint back because I want to, but
There you go, because in your head that seems right.
yeah.
And that's the most important thing. If in your head it seems right, it's probably right
probably-
as it needs to be.
Interestingly enough, I've always wanted to be as screen accurate as I could, right? That's been like my driving thing, and I've had arguments with Zot over, no, this project doesn't need peacock feathers. But doing some of the Star Trek props and even doing some of the props for, especially for Smosh and for this, if I build off of my memory, I'm almost always more happy with it. And then I compare it to what the actual one is, and it's usually off a lot, but it's, you 100% know what it is. And in the case of like some of the older projects I've worked on, that was the right direction to go.
Sometimes I'll look at the Funko Pop or the Lego version
Yeah.
of a character, and their simplified version is all you need
Yes.
for people to digest, oh, that's this character. Oh,
Yes.
that character.
It's got the very important highlights that say
The
this character.
Bare minimum
Yep.
of what you need to make it this character versus that character.
What do I need for a vault suit? You need a blue suit with gold trim
Right?
and a big number on the back.
Yeah. In my video where I do like the costumes you can do with the black suit.
Yes.
There's so many characters. It's just a black suit, but they're the essence of them. How do you change it? Oh, it's a skinny black tie.
Right.
Oh,
this
it's
is
these sunglasses.
Legitimate suit, not a morph suit, but like a 3-piece suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like
it's Bubbles from Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah. And a lot of those, it's like I've referenced like Legos or Funko Pops, and it's like, oh, that's the character, and it's just the bare minimum that you need. And that's all. Like, it just needs to taste right.
Right.
It has to have the right flavor. People need to get it. It doesn't. But it's also fun to get geeky in the details. But
that's just what I like to do. Right. But you're absolutely right. As long as your cosplay tastes right, if you're recognized, you nailed it.
Exactly.
It's not if you're accurate; it's if you're recognized. Yeah.
My shades of pink aren't perfect on my Ty Lee costume, but I had a little girl come up to me and be like, "Ty Lee," and I'm like, oh, "I winned." You know what I mean?
Yes.
I winned.
Yes, I totally know what you mean.
When children recognize you and go, "Oh my gosh," that's just the ultimate moment.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, I have opinions, that's for sure.
That's cool.
Yep.
All right. Is any last minute? Right. There was something I failed to do. It's the very end of the stream, Shady. Sorry. Let me. I was gonna do this during mail, but then I got excited about.
Same here, Felicia. We'll be going to Legoland in 2 weeks. I'm gonna be down in Southern California in 2 weeks.
Oh.
I think I'm going to Universal Studios, and
then I
think we're gonna be on the beach.
That is also cool.
Venice Beach.
Oh, nice.
We're gonna be hanging out on Venice Beach.
One of the more famous California beaches.
Yeah. I'm excited for that. I'm going to be a few days there, and it's going to be amazing.
That's
I'm looking forward to it. I was trying to go to Legoland, but I was told it was too juvenile for the group of people I was going with. And I argued against it many times, but I think ultimately we decided for beach over Legoland.
Okay. Beach is going to be cheaper.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But yeah. I still want to go. I know it's for children, but it doesn't stop me from Disneyland or Universal Studios.
Do we want to pop over to stills really for a quick minute?
Okay, which one do I push?
The little still button. It's next to 4. The top one next to 4 is
I would have took me a second to see that.
That's okay. Well, I got the wrong picture loaded. This is the Emmy I'm going to be working on again. This is the big full-size Emmy. We got to update the thing on the bottom. Sorry. The thing I was going to talk about with Shady is his Wasteland Triplets, I believe is what he's calling this. He had this a couple of weeks ago, and this goes along with the glow-in-the-dark videotape, kind of. Now I'm taking too long to find this thing he wanted to talk about. I'm fumbling with the phone is what you can't say.
Okay.
So, yeah. Well, yeah, Wasteland Triplets, that's it. So he had got this artwork done. AI helped finish it. It was like Shady drew it, and then AI kind of inked it for him, right? So very comic book style, but it wasn't totally generative AI. Shady worked with it a lot. Anyway, he's got t-shirts available on Amazon with this particular character set. He's developing stories with it. And one of the things he did recently is he actually had a billboard that went up. This is an extremely blurry blow up in Times Square. So last week, I think Tuesday of last week, every hour, the Wasteland Triplets appeared on a billboard in Times Square for up to a full minute. And yeah, and he's got more Wasteland Triplet t-shirt designs now. So I don't know. Shady's been a major member on the Odin Makes Discord for a while, so it's kind of fun to see the guy reach out and do more things. So it's kind of cool. And it was neat to be able to support him with his Wasteland Triplets idea. And this comes about from Post-Apocalyptic Joe. So the triplets themselves aren't in Post-Apocalyptic Joe, but Shady's fun with Joe, because he and Joe really connected and talked a lot, just really brought those out.
Nice.
Yeah. So anyway, wanted to share that because I was super impressed that TimesSquareBillboard.com Shady managed to get a hold of and got his t-shirt, I'm curious how well the ads worked out for him, actually. So anyway, I'll be back in 2 weeks. Felicia will be back in July, and we continue to work on the Proton Packs. I'm gonna be spray painting the Alice frames here pretty soon. And I want to thank all of you for hanging out with us today. I had a lot of fun.
I had fun.
Oh, good. She didn't hate it. And I'll see you again in 2 weeks.
My brain is now on project.
Yeah, I can see that. Because she wants to go home, so she wants to get a project done.
I have to math. I have to figure it out.
Uh-huh. I'm just going to step over here. So
No worries. I'm in project mode.